Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní tilé toko. Mo kí ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, mo kẹ́yin ìyá mi káàkiri àgbálá ayé. Mo kí yín pé a kú dédé àsìkò yìí. A dẹ̀ kú bí gbogbo nǹkan ṣe ń lọ. A kú ara fẹ́rakù ẹni re. A kú ara fẹ́rakù ẹni re tó lọ tó jáde láyé. Ìyẹn màmá wa Jade Fashakin. Májọ̀kù májèkò ló màmá. Ohun tí wọ́n bá ń jẹ láìdí ọ̀run báyìí ni kò máa bá wọn jẹ. Mo kí gbogbo àwa tí a jẹ́ ajìjàǹgbara láti ìgbà tí màmá wa Fashakin, Barrister Fashakin, Esquire tí wọ́n ti jáde láyé. Mo kí gbogbo àwa tí a ti ń bá wọn kẹ́dùn káàkiri àgbáyé. Mo kí yín. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, kí n tó ti ẹnu bọ àwọn nǹkan tó gbé wa jáde lónìí àti àwọn fídíò tí a fẹ́ fi wọ̀n wá, ẹ jẹ́ kí n ẹ jẹ́ ká play national anthem wa. Ètò tòní ó dá lórí màmá wa Jade Fashakin. A fẹ́ ṣe àfihàn àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí ìyá yìí ṣe kí wọ́n tó jáde láyé. Torí pé gbogbo wa láti lè máa gbọ́ láti ìgbà tí ìyá yìí ti kú. Ẹ rí pé inú ọ̀fọ̀ ńlá òun ni Yorùbá nation wà. Láwa ọmọ Yorùbá nation tí yìí ṣe pé àná la jọyìn o, tó jẹ́ wípé Yorùbá nation yìí ó ṣojú wa bí gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe rú, bó ṣe láti ibi tí gbogbo ẹ̀ fi rú tó ti rúgbó jáde. Àwa la lè mọ iṣẹ́ pàtàkì, iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí ìyá wa Jade Fashakin ṣe kí wọ́n tó jáde láyé. Ṣùgbọ́n fún àǹfààní ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ wípé ẹ ò láǹfààní láti mọ ìyá yìí àbí láti rí àwọn iṣẹ́ yìí tí ìyá wa yìí ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n jáde láyé. Àwọn fídíò kan ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ mi, even àwa tá a ti mọ̀ wọ́n gan. Àwọn fídíò tá a fẹ́ show lénìí, ó ṣeéṣe kẹ́ má bá pàdé àbí kẹ́ má gbọ́. Òun ni èmi àrólé ọmọ bàbá tẹ́ntẹ́ ṣe jáde lónìí láti fi àwọn iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí ìyá wa yìí ti ṣe. Ẹ lè máa gbọ́ lọ́tùn lósì pé igi ńlá wó, igi ńlá wó, igi ńlá wó nínú Yorùbá nation. Ẹ lè máa imagine pé ta lárábìnrin gan, kí ni igi, báwo ni igi ńlá ẹ̀ ṣe jẹ́ gan, báwo ló ṣe rí gan, kí ló dé. Bàbá professor jáde, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ jáde, wọ́n kẹ́dùn. Bàbá wa olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ jáde, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ jáde, wọ́n kẹ́dùn. Gbogbo igi mì tìtìtìtìtì nínú igbó nítorí igi ńlá tó wó yìí. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, mo ní ẹ ti lè máa wò pé àtàlà arábìnrin yìí, báwo ni tiẹ̀ ṣe jẹ́ gan nínú Yorùbá nation yìí. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, tẹ́ ẹ bá farabalẹ̀ wo fídíò tí mo fẹ́ fún yín lénìí, tẹ́ ẹ bá farabalẹ̀ dáadáa wo fídíò tí mo fẹ́ fún yín lénìí, ẹ ní mọ ìgbà tí omijé máa bọ́ lójú yín, nítorí pé ẹ máa rò ó sínú pé kí ló dé gan tí òfin ṣe ọ̀tá Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé òun náà làmìlaka, tó jí ọ̀tá Yorùbá tó náà tó jẹ́ pé tí igi ẹ̀ bá wó báyìí gbogbo èèyàn náà ló máa mọ̀ pé igi eléyìí wó dànù nínú àwọn alábọ̀dé, tó fi wá jẹ́ wípé igi ńlá tó ṣe Yorùbá lóore, tó ṣe wá láǹfààní, tó jẹ́ ògúnná gbòǹgbò, tó jẹ́ bí igi lẹ́yìn ọgbà, lára àwọn igi lẹ́yìn ọgbà Yorùbá nation ló wá wó. Tẹ́ bá farabalẹ̀ dáadáa, tẹ́ wo tí ìyá yìí ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n dágbére fáyé, ó ṣeé ṣe o kómi náà ò bọ́ lójú yín torí láti ìgbà tí èmi àrólé ọmọ bàbá tẹ́ntẹ́ ọmọ olúmọ ìkan ọba lọ́la JP ajìjàǹgbara fún ìdásílẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ìránṣẹ́ àwọn onílẹ̀ tí mo ti gbọ́ inú mi ò dùn o láti ìgbà náà tí mo ti gbọ́ pípé igi ńlá yìí wó ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa bí ẹ bá ṣe ń wọlé ẹ máa bá wa ṣíà ètò yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ lódodo ọmọ Yorùbá nation níyìn ni o tí ìṣepẹ́ yìí náà kàn ń wò wá pé ẹja gbọ́ tẹnu wọn tẹ́yìn náà tẹ́ ẹ ní tí ọkọ̀ yín pòǹgbẹ fún ìdásílẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tí ẹ̀yin náà lè fọwọ́ sọ̀yà níbikíbi tẹ́ ẹ bá dé pé ọmọ Yorùbá nation èmi wà lára àwọn tó ń pè fún ìdásílẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tẹ́ ẹ lè fọwọ́ rẹ̀ sọ̀yà ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi ẹ bá mi gbé fídíò yìí lọ sínú gbogbo platform tí ọmọ Yorùbá nation bá wà gbogbo platform ni o ẹ bá wa share síbẹ̀ torí pé lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí Yorùbá nation ó kàn gógó díẹ̀ fún arábìnrin tí ó ṣubú lójú ìjà yìí torí pé ojú ìjà ni màmá wa yìí wà kó tó di pé ikú mú wọn lọ wọ́n ṣubú lójú ìjà ni bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo lè sọ wípé màmá yìí fi ẹ̀mí wọn ra gbogbo nǹkan padà láti pé kí Yorùbá nation kó lè wá sí ìmúṣẹ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ò tí ì bọ́ sínú ètò ẹjẹ́ agbọ́ national anthem wa ká wá ṣẹ̀wá wọnú ètò lọ ẹ bá mi máa share bẹ́ bá ṣe ń wọlé ẹ bá mi máa pín sórí Facebook ẹ máa bá mi pín káàkiri torí pé ohun tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí ó ṣe wá láǹfààní o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ṣe wá láǹfààní ẹ máa bá mi ká lọ.
Mo jẹ́ ìjẹ́ fún orílẹ̀-èdè mi ilẹ̀ Odùduwà tó ń ṣàn fún wàrà àti fún oyin, ilẹ̀ tó kún fún àwọn akọni ọgbọ́n ètò àti òye. Mo ṣe ìlérí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ológo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ìtànṣọ́ oòrùn láti la ayé já nílẹ̀ Áfíríkà, láti gbé ilẹ̀ Odùduwà lárugẹ. Mo pinnu láti fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan fún ìlọsíwájú ìran Yorùbá. Mo fọwọ́ sọ̀yà pé n kò ní dalẹ̀ tàbí ṣọ̀tẹ̀ sí ìṣọ̀kan àti ìtẹ̀síwájú orílẹ̀-èdè mi ilẹ̀ Odùduwà. Èmi yóò fi gbogbo ipá, ọkàn, iṣẹ́, ọgbọ́n àti ìṣe mi sin orílẹ̀-èdè mi ní òtítọ́ àti lódodo títí ọjọ́ ayé mi. Gbogbo ìyànjú àwọn akọni tó ti lọ kò ní já sófo láti ọwọ́ mi títí dé ìrandíran tí ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Mo ṣe ìlérí pé ẹ̀sìn tàbí ìṣèlú kò ní yà wá nílẹ̀ Odùduwà. Tó bá wáyé bẹ́ẹ̀, mo lè lo ọkàn ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó kù sára mi láti fi ṣègbè àti jàjàgbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ilẹ̀ Odùduwà, ìran Yorùbá, èdè kan, àṣà kan àti ìṣe kan ló so wá pọ̀ láéláé lágbára Elédùwà.
ẹ ṣeun mo dúpẹ́ ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa bá wa share ètò yìí nítorí pé ètò tí à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí ó ṣe pàtàkì ó ṣe iyebíye ẹ bá wa máa pín ẹ bá wa share ẹ káàkiri àgbáyé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, mo kí wa wípé a kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Èmi ọmọ yín náà ni àbúrò yín, àrólé ọmọ bàbá 1010 Olúmike Ọbalọ́lá JP, ajìjàǹgbara fún ìdásílẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, ìránṣẹ́ Olódùmarè yín náà ni. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan wípé nínú wa a ti lè máa gbọ́ wípé màmá wa Barrister Fashakin, wípé láti ìgbà tí màmá yìí ti dolóògbé tí wọ́n ti lọ, ẹ rí wípé gbogbo igi nínú oko gbogbo ẹ̀ pa lọ́lọ́, gbogbo igi nínú oko náà ni wọ́n mọ̀ wípé igi ńlá wó. Mo ní gbogbo àwa ọmọ Yorùbá nation náà gan, inú wa ò dùn rárá sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí màmá wa onínúure tó jáde láyé. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́, mo bẹ̀ wá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá nation platform tí ẹ bá mọ̀, ẹ bá wa share prógrámù yìí síbẹ̀, ẹ bá wa gbé sí orí àwọn platform tí ẹ bá mọ̀ tó jẹ́ ti Yorùbá nation, àbí tó jẹ́ ibi tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣètò sílẹ̀ fún màmá wa Barrister Fashakin, tí gbogbo àwọn ènìyàn ti ń kẹ́dùn, tí wọ́n ti ń bá wọn kẹ́dùn. Gbogbo àwọn platform yìí, ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ bá wa sọ fún gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n wà ní orí ìkànnì yìí kí wọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, torí mo mọ̀ wípé kì í ṣe gbogbo wọn náà ni ó mọ àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí ìyá wa Jade Fashakin tí wọ́n ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n dágbére fáyé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, orí ìkànnì yìí náà ni a ti máa ṣàlàyé gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí màmá wa Barrister Fashakin tí wọ́n ṣe. Evangelist ni wọ́n o, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí wọ́n gbé Olúwa, tí wọ́n gbé Jésù Kristi, tí wọ́n gbé lárugẹ, tí wọ́n gbé iṣẹ́ Kristiẹ́nì, tí wọ́n mú ní ọ̀kúnkúndùn. Màmá wa yìí jẹ́ ẹni tí ó máa ń ṣàánú ènìyàn. Màmá wa yìí dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹni tó jẹ́ pé ó kọ́ ọmọdé mọ́ra, ó kó àgbàlagbà mọ́ra. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, tí n bá sọ pé ní àgbáyé lónìí, over millions of people ènìyàn ni wọ́n ń ṣe ìdárò màmá wa Jade Fashakin lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, nítorí pé wọ́n jẹ́ ẹni tí ó jẹ́ pé Olódùmarè nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí, tí àwa tí a jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tí àwa náà tún nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, màmá yìí jẹ́ ẹni tí ó gbé iṣẹ́ Yorùbá nation tí ó mú ní ọ̀kúnkúndùn. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ fún mi ní ìṣẹ́jú kan péré. Màmá wa yìí jẹ́ ẹni tí Olódùmarè yọ́nú sí, tí Olódùmarè yọ́nú sí, tí Ọlọ́run gbà fún, tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé gbogbo àwọn ènìyàn ló nífẹ̀ẹ́ màmá wa yìí, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ. Now, ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ bá wá ń wò ó, a lè rí nínú wa tó lè máa béèrè pé kí ló dé, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gan tó fi jẹ́ pé gbogbo àwọn ènìyàn ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kẹ́dùn màmá yìí. Why tó fi rí bẹ́ẹ̀? Lára àwọn nǹkan tó fi rí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo ti sọ sẹ́yìn yẹn. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, mo wá ní àwọn fídíò kan tí màmá wa yìí tí wọ́n ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n jáde láyé, tó jẹ́ wípé gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí màmá wa Fashakin tó sọ nígbà náà lọ́hùn-ún, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ló ń padà ń ṣe, ó tiẹ̀ ti ń ṣe láti ìgbà yẹn ló ti ń ṣe. Màmá wa yìí dẹ̀ jẹ́ èèyàn kan tó jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ olùfọkànsìn púpọ̀. Ṣé olùfọkànsìn ti Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ní ká sọ ni, àbí olùfọkànsìn ọmọ Yorùbá ní ká sọ ni, àbí olùfọkànsìn nítòótọ́ nínú Yorùbá nation ní ká sọ ni? So màmá wa yìí wọ́n jẹ́ ẹni tí ó jẹ́ olùfọkànsìn tí Olódùmarè ọba yọ́nú sí nílé ayé. Àìmọye ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ni màmá wa yìí ti empower nígbà tí wọ́n wà nílé ayé. Ṣé tẹ̀rín ẹnu wọn ni ká sọ ni, àbí ti ìsọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn, àbí ti ìṣesí wọn? So màmá yìí Olódùmarè dá pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló ti ń ké gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan wípé kí ló dé tí ò fi jẹ́ ìkan gbòógì lára àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọn ò tiẹ̀ fẹ́ kí ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation wá sí ìmúṣẹ. òun ni Ọlọ́run gbẹ̀mí rẹ̀, ni Ọlọ́run ṣẹ́ igi mọ́ nídìí tó fi wá jẹ́ pé ẹni ire yìí tó jẹ́ pé tọmọdé tàgbà tóbìnrin tókùnrin ni màmá yìí máa ń yọ́nú sí, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe é fún, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹni tó ń gbé àṣà àti ìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lárugẹ. kí ló wá lóde tó fi jẹ́ pé ikú kò mú ẹni ibi tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹni ire ló wá mú lọ. bó ṣe ṣe yín bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ṣe èmi, torí nígbà tí mo tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ pé màmá yìí kú, ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni mí tó dá mi lójú, tí mo dẹ̀ jẹ́ professional boxer nílùú tí mo wà yìí, tí mo ní láísẹ̀nsì mi lọ́wọ́, tí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ o ikú máa ń mú yàn sọ́dọ̀ ni kó tó di pé ó ṣẹ̀ pa ẹni yẹn, èmi náà bá ti sáré lọ, mo mọ̀ pé ikú kò lè gba 1-2 àbí kí n tẹ̀ tó sọ pé mo fẹ́ fún lọ́pàá court. èmi mọ̀ pé mo máa pa ikú tí mo máa tú màmá wa Barrister Jade Fashakin lẹ̀ pé kó máa padà bọ̀ wá sílé ayé láti wá parí iṣẹ́ tó ṣekù nínú Yorùbá nation, láti wá parí rẹ̀. ṣùgbọ́n mo rí pé kò ṣeé ṣe fún mi ní àìmọ́lé ikú ò lè jẹ́ ń lọ kákúmọ́lé. so ikú màmá wa yìí ó dùn ọ̀kẹ́ àìmọye ènìyàn káàkiri àgbálá ayé ni o. so ìdí nìyí tí mo fi mú àwọn fídíò yìí wá fún ẹ̀yin láti proof gbogbo nǹkan tí mò ń sọ yìí, kẹ́ ẹ lè wo ìjà takuntakun, iṣẹ́ ribiribi, iṣẹ́ tabua tí ìyá wa Jade Fashakin ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n jáde láyé. ẹ̀yin yẹn wá ká má fi ọ̀pá pọ̀lọpọ̀lọ péjò, ẹja sáré bọ́ sí ojú iṣẹ́ láti fi ṣe àfihàn àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí màmá wa Jade Fashakin tí wọ́n ti ṣe nílé ayé. mo láwọn fídíò bíi 2-3 sọ́wọ́ ń bí tí mo máa fún yín, tẹ́yìn náà máa kan sára sí màmá yìí níbikíbi tí wọ́n wà. ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ farabalẹ̀ dáadáa, ẹ bá wa wo fídíò yìí, ẹ bá wa wo fídíò yìí. Oòduà gbè wá, kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ lágbára adẹ́dà ṣẹ̀dá. mo kí yín o, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ń wọlé, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
That man came as our own Moses in Yoruba land. Anybody that is
authority to make reference to verses in the Bible or even those who know Quran like yourself. Now, I'm going to
Mama Fashakin tí wọ́n wọ kóòtù dúdú yẹn o, Mama wa Fashakin yẹn. Àwọn tí wọ́n interview Mama wa
as a lawyer. There is a big landmark case today in Nigeria. There's a judgment which
ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ má bínú, ṣẹ́rẹ́ ohun tó fa interview yìí òun ni pé bàbá wa Ọ̀túnba olè ń wò yìí. ohun tó fa interview yìí ni wípé wọ́n rí màmá wa pé màmá wa ń jà fitafita lórí pé kí ìran Yorùbá ká bọ́ lóko ẹrú. màmá wa yìí ń jà fitafita pé kí ìran Yorùbá àwọn ti rí nírìí pé ìran wa ti wà nínú oko ẹrú. so ibẹ̀ ni bàbá wa Ọ̀túnba ti gbé rí iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí wọ́n ń ṣe. ó ti yé yín, iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí wọ́n ń ṣe, ẹ get point mi. òun ni bàbá yìí fi wá interview wọn pé màmá yìí a rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ribiribi tó ń ṣe yìí gan náà ló fà á. ní pàtàkì ní ìgbà tí wọ́n mú bàbá wa olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ sí Benin Republic, màmá yìí wọ́n pa itú 7 yàyà 6 kó tó di pé wọ́n rìlíìsì màmá wa. ká tó bọ́ sí orí agbágbé yìí, àbí kẹ́ tó máa gbọ́ interview yìí lọ, mo máa play voice note kan fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá láti lè mọ̀ wípé níbi tí màmá wa yìí ṣiṣẹ́ dé, bàbá wa olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ, mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ statement ọ̀rọ̀ kan tí bàbá wa Adéyẹmọ sọ lára nǹkan tá à ń sọ wípé màmá yìí ikú tó pa yìí ọ̀tá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló yẹ kó mú lọ. àwọn ọ̀tá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó yẹ pé tí àwa náà tó bá gbọ́ pé ó kú, wọ́n á lè wò pé yà eléyìí tó lọ yìí ó yẹ kó lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. ẹjọ́ mò ń gbọ́ o, mo fẹ́ sọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kó lè yé wa dáadáa ni o. tá bá ń sọ wípé màmá wa Fashakin wọ́n ṣe iṣẹ́ ribiribi ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ara àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi so ẹjọ́ mú bọ́ o mo kàn fẹ́ fún yín ní nǹkan kan kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ pé màmá wa yìí màmá wa yìí wọ́n gbìyànjú nílé ayé kí wọ́n tó dágbére fáyé ẹ jẹ́ n sáré wá voice note yìí jáde pápápá. ẹjọ́ mú bọ́ ẹ ṣe sùúrù ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi share ètò yìí ẹjọ́ fídíò tá a máa wò lénìí ẹ rí i pé fídíò yìí ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àti òye àti gbogbo nǹkan tó ń lọ òun la máa gbọ́ ẹ gbá wa gbọ́ nǹkan tí bàbá wo Olóyè Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ sọ nípa màmá wa yìí.
ẹ káàsán ẹ kálẹ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá.
ó ní nǹkan kan tí mo fẹ́ mú jáde ńbẹ̀ o ká tó play fídíò yìí.
mo Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho mo fi àsìkò yìí mo fi kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kú aráfẹ́ra kù tí mọ́mọ́ wa Janet Fashakin Ọlọ́run á foríjì wọn á pàṣẹṣẹ wọn rẹ́ mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo àsìkò ikú ẹ̀dá bá tó òun lẹ̀dá máa ń kú kọ́lọ̀ jẹ́ kí ọdún jìnnà síra wọn. ìyá wa Janet Fashakin ìyá dáadáa ni ó dẹ̀ ṣègùdù méjì ìyá mẹ́fà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ní sẹ́fà pàápàá jùlọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi mi ò mọ̀.
pàápàá jùlọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi wọ́n ṣe bẹbẹ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ní pàápàá jùlọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ bí màmá yìí ṣe wúwo tó nínú ìyá.
ọmọ tẹlomi bọ̀ mo á fi àsìkò yìí mo fi ń bẹ Ọlọ́run fún kọ́lọ́run bá tọ́ láyé tọ́ lọ́run kó pa àṣìṣe wọn rẹ́ kó dẹ̀ darí gbogbo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọn jì wọ́n kí ọmọ fi ìyà jẹ àwọn ọmọ wọn tí ń bẹ láyé kó bá dáàbò bo gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wọn kó dẹ̀ gbé àwọn ọmọ wọn sí ipò gíga lórílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
àmín. ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé tí mo ṣe ń sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé màmá wa yìí wọ́n jẹ́ ẹni tó ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun lórí ìdásílẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ yìí so ni mo ṣe play yẹn ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí bàbá Olóyè Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ sọ wọ́n ní pàápàá jùlọ lórí tiwọn so màmá yìí no ọ̀run rẹ́rẹ́ o màmá má jọ̀kú má jẹ kòló òótọ́ bá jẹ láìdí ọ̀run ni kó máa bá wọn jẹ akọni obìnrin so gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí màmá wa yìí ṣe òun ni bàbá wa Ọ̀túnba ni wọ́n rí tí wọ́n fi pe màmá yìí pé ẹ wá ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣe fídíò ìpapọ̀ kẹ́ tó bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ kẹ́ bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ kí làwọn nǹkan tí màmá wa sọ ẹja máa gbọ́ lọ ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Right from the beginning, even for some of us who doesn't practice or whatever, that July 1, July 1st.
ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ń wọlé ẹ bá wa máa kí màmá wa yẹn bá wa máa sọ fún màmá wa pé rest in peace ẹja máa kí wọn rest in peace ní ẹja máa kọ ẹja máa kí ẹ̀mí wọn kó
today there's a judgment that confirms that. Can you take us 2 minutes, walk us through what that means to the whole Yoruba people?
I think today is a great day for us, the Yoruba agitation group, who believe in self-determination. We have a champion by the name of Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho. That man came as our own Moses in Yoruba land. Anybody that is following the story coming out of Nigeria, we know that right now we have what we call systemic ethnic cleansing, whereby one ethnic group, by virtue of their dominance in the government, they believe that the other ethnic group should not have a say in what is going on in the country. And if they try to have a say, they have to be killed. One of the people that says that is wrong, that is not right. Stop killing my people. We are not fighting you. If you don't want us to stay in Nigeria, we are ready to leave. We are not seceding. We have a right to our self-determination to champion our own cause. And they came after him. They have some people that they call DSS, who act like the, I don't know what to call them. They are the killers for the government. They came to his house in the middle of the night, in a country that has law, in a country that should obey laws. They came to him, there was no warrant of arrest. There was no time that they invited him to come to them that he didn't go. All the rally that this man had been peaceful. no single shot of gun, no knifing of anybody, no anything that you can call riotous. He has never carried a gun to our knowledge and to the public knowledge. They are angry because he said, you cannot be killing us. You cannot say that our farmers must not go to the farm. You cannot be raping our virgins, children who have never known men. You will go to people's house, you will rape the wife, the mother, in front of their children and the husband. You will take your cow knife, cut the neck of fellow human beings, and take videos without even covering your faces. And the government is doing nothing. Just because they are Fulanis, like Buhari, the president of Nigeria. And they are determined to wipe off every other ethnic group that is not Fulani. And this man says, you cannot do that. So they got angry, came to his house around 2 a.m. in the night of July 1st. They used a bulldozer to bulldoze his wall. They came in, they shot through his window, climbed in through the window. I'm saying this because I spoke to him. This is a first-hand knowledge, not something that was passed down to me. They came in through his window, started shooting indiscriminately. He ran, and they couldn't find him. The guard, Adogon, came out from the kitchen to confront them, not knowing whether they are government, because which government will behave like a thief in the night? He thought maybe they were all these Fulani Marudas, Fulani killers. He confronted them. They shot him about 62 times or 42 times, I can't remember. When he wouldn't die, they tied him down, pound his head with mortar, break his head, and carried his body away. There was another man that was doing prayers. That man didn't know what killed him till today, because they shot him from the back. His brain flew out of his head. What kind of government does that? Governments are supposed to protect its citizens. If an outsider will do that to your citizen, you have to be up in arms. And that was what happened. And Igboho escaped to Cotonou. They followed him there, and they are saying he should be repatriated. We believe that the people that should be arrested are criminals, the Maitialas, the Fulani herdsmen, the people who carry guns on their neck, but rather the government, the Fulani government of Buhari, is paying them handsomely. They have a spokesperson that they call Gumi, who knows where they are. And people like Governor El-Rufai, we tell you, we went after the IPOB leader because we know their leader. We went after the IPOB. We went after the Yoruba nation people because we know their leader. We don't know the leader of the people who are killing others. We don't know the people who did not cover their faces. We don't know them. We don't know the people that we gave money to Gumi to go and pay handsomely, billions of naira. And what can we do? We can't fight. We don't have guns. Years back, Buhari asked people to surrender their guns. People in the southwest surrender their own. We don't have guns anymore. Yet, his own people, they can carry AK-47 openly, and they say, oh, it's for cow rustlers. Who are the cow rustlers? What are we rustling? The southwest people, they are not herders. So what will they be doing with cow rustling? That will warrant you to carry guns, but those who have been killed have no right to any ammunition. They will be jailed. Even the lady that used ordinary phone to alert people that they are shooting at us, Lady K, is sitting in solitary confinement now. Maybe people don't know what solitary confinement is. It's a place, it's a cell where you cannot stand up, where you cannot lay down. You are bending like this. A woman, and these people are born of women, they have sisters, they have daughters, and you think that's the way to go. So they brought a lawsuit. Thankfully, we still have some judges in Nigeria that believe in the rules of law. And today, we got a handsome winning for this Chief Sunday at the 2 billion naira People are saying with the
20
federal government, 20 billion naira, sorry, 20 billion naira. People are saying with the federal government pay it. Of course they will pay it. They have assets. This asset doesn't belong to Buhari. It doesn't belong to HAAA. It belongs to all of us. We owe Sunday Adeyemo Igboho as people who are still in Nigeria and they have to pay. Well, I'm expecting them to appeal, of course, and then we will see what the appeal is, because of course we know the person at the end of the appeal is one of them as well. But we are watching. We are watching. Thank you.
Wow. What else can I expect, learned sister, to have broken down all the nitty-gritties of what happened to Chief Sunday Igboho? And this kind of atrocities can only happen in a place called Nigeria. It is a shame in the sense that 2021, and what bothers me most is who does kind of open grazing. 2021, Dr. Lawyer Janet Fashakin, tell the world, where do you start? Allowing cattle, allowing cows during the day, ransacking, disturbing schools, and all that kind of thing. 2021, open grazing, for Christ's sake. Where do you get that? Well, what's the explanation for allowing cows to be roaming the street of Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan, Oyo, and all places? 2021, for Christ's sake. And some people just woke up from their slumber and say, you know what, we don't want to allow open grazing. And what do? They are getting angry. I still don't understand it. Please, maybe shed a little bit light. Which other country do you know that open grazing is being practiced as we speak?
I do not know of any other country, because they tried it in Ghana, and the president of Ghana said, if you find any cow on the street, kill it.
Out of them.
Yes, that did not happen. And we also have to understand that cow ranching, cow herding, they are all private businesses. So they should not have to be something that they will run rampage and begin to destroy other people's livelihood. But you have to understand, it's all part of their trick. It's all part of their way of ethnic cleansing the nation. If you cannot plant, they know that in Southwest, they are predominantly farmers. So if you plant something and they bring cows to destroy it, you complain they hack you to death. Who is there now going to farm in Southwest now? Everybody is afraid. Nobody is going. It's part of the economic strangulation that they want to do. It's not that they don't know that they are wrong, but they are fletching their bosses because they are the ones in power. Come to think of it, the president is Fulani. The EFCC, the one that collapsed the other time, I hope he had time to rest and may he rest in peace, is also a Fulani. The custom, the police, the military. So they're showing us that they have the power to do and undo. It's not that they don't know that they are wrong. And if they don't get enough from what they are doing, what do? They kidnap and they ask for ransom. Ransom, money that you never made in your life, that only the Fulanis can boast of having, because they are looting the treasury of Nigeria. They keep borrowing and borrowing. What are they using it for? So they are doing economic strangulation. Whatever their AK-47 cannot kill, hunger will kill. Whatever hunger will not kill, their kidnapping will kill. Okay, look at it now. If they now kidnap somebody who has never made 1 million naira in his life, and they put even ordinary 5 million on the person, and the family runs around and gather the 5 million to get him released, are those people who gather the money not going to ask for their money? Somebody who never made 1 million, where is he going to get 5 million? Is it not the depression that will kill the person? So in every way, they want to kill. They want to use economic killings. They want to use physical killings, which they are doing in the numbers. They want to use hunger killing. They want to exterminate every race that is not Fulani. They have been saying it is 1960. It is our leaders in Yoruba land that are living in Poku land. They are thinking what we are going through now can never happen in Nigeria. But it is happening under their noses.
share it with you.
And the Fulanis are putting it into their pockets. That when they want to complain, what they have to do is to show them the scorecard. Oga, don't forget, we forgave you this, we will bring it up. EFCC will come after you. They will keep quiet. That's why nobody is talking. Those who should be talking, that's why you are not hearing him, because they already put wahala into their pocket. So nobody, there is no civilized country of the world, even no civilized country of the world, where you have open grazing. Because you know the grazing there is going to affect the farmers. This job, the primary job, is to go to the farm. Only
Lara
Thank you.
Dr. Jade, thank you very much for this. Now, another thing, a large number of people will be asking you and I, how is this all possible? We'll be talking about different kind of atrocity, different kind of misgovernance, different kind of stupid thing that is going on 2021 in a country called Nigeria. There are two major areas. When young people ask me, I say, how is that possible? If somebody asks you, how is that possible? Is it safe? Like we say, I mean, the lawyer will say, is it safe or is it right to say that it's because the constitution, a contracted constitution of a country can only allow this kind of, am I right to say that?
Yes, you are right to say that because they wrote the constitution, the 1999 constitution, they knew what they were going to do. They put all sorts of things there. One of it is every Nigerians are free to live anywhere within the country. That is why they are bringing their people in numbers to our forests. It is constitutional for them to do that. But can our people go over there and be living in their forest and be harassing them and be carrying guns? Absolutely no. A lot of things that they are doing, for instance, look at this presidential election. They have come out to say there is nothing like rotation. It's not in the constitution to rotate. What is in the constitution is the game of balance. They know they have imported enough people from everywhere where you have Fulanis to come in to vote. So they're saying it's a game of numbers. It is constitutional. They are right. Unless we revoke the 1999 constitution, the Fulanis are going to be having a field day over everybody. They knew what they did. They asked me, are there no Yorubas in the house when they were doing this? Well, we should ask them what they were doing. Were they sleeping at the time that was going on? That's why we are saying there is no way for us out in the present day Nigeria, because the constitution supports what they are doing. If they say now that they want to pass a law that says they should enslave every other race that is not Fulani, they have enough votes in the house to carry it out. That's why we came together and we say, you know what? There is no way for us in this place. And these people are not ready to change anything. And those people who are asking for restructuring, you heard from their spokesperson that says, forever and ever presidency will always be in the north, even with restructuring. So what do they want to restructure? That's why we say, let us self-determine our destiny. Leave us alone. Let us count our losses and go and start again. A single person will buy. So what can you say about a whole lot of Yorubas who have gone to school? We have the largest concentration of doctors among the Yorubas, the largest number of lawyers, the largest number of businessmen. We will make it. We will succeed. Those who are afraid of whether we're going to succeed, fear no more. We will succeed. They should let us go unless they revoke the 1999 constitution and allow it to be done properly. All of these things they are doing is constitutional. Like they say, they are in the army, they are the top army officers, they are the top police officers. The constitution says For as long as you are a Nigerian, and so there's the person who is the head of the army not a Nigerian, is the EFCC not a Nigerian, is the this, the constitution didn't say that you have to divide it along the ethnic group. It says you must be a Nigerian, and they are Nigerians. So they don't know what they wrote when they wrote the 1999 Constitution. It's a fraud. It is a big.
But God love you more than us. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ mọ́mì wa. Ṣé rí i pé jagunjagun nìyá wa?
I can't hear you, sir.
I'm so because 99% of my inquiries tonight is going to revolve around what we call in law legal and what's the second one? And politics. Now, in Nigeria entity, I have no doubt in my mind that people that are reasonable, a large number of people have tried many times over asking. In fact, I can use the last 60 years as a parameter or as a yardstick that we've tried so hard to wanting to sit down, because after the 100 years expiration of amalgamation that was contracted, was just given to us by, I don't know whether the woman is a concubine of the God or his wife or whatever. That's fine. We weathered through 100 years, and thereafter, we now say, let us sit down and talk. Now, for some reasons, there was an organized national conference. For some reasons, that national conference result was put in the wardrobe of one of the former presidents. We got nothing from that. And now, 60 years thereafter again, large number of people started talking and said, listen, we need to talk. We need to talk. Like any other thing, like any relationship. After a period of time, if the relationship is not working, you have the right to want to renegotiate, rearrange, get advice and work things out. But because the contracted 1999 Constitution favors a segment of I want to include even some people in Southwest or so, because they're enjoying the bounty, they're getting the favor, they're getting the largesse, they're enjoying it. So they don't want to care what happened to your daughters, my daughter, other people's children, who at the age of 11, 12, 13, selling pure water, hawking at the time they're supposed to be at school. What's your take on this 1999 Constitution? What do you think? What do you want to tell my viewers about politics and legalities?
Well, like I said, the 1999 Constitution is a fraud. It is a fraud perpetrated on the entire country. I don't know, maybe when the other ethnic politicians were sleeping, or because of what they benefited, they didn't care. That constitution has to be revoked. It is a fraud. It allows them to do anything, pretty much anything that will disenfranchise other ethnic group. And it is disenfranchising us. They are the only ones benefiting from it. You cannot say you have a unity or you have democracy when only one group is benefiting. And for those who are now crying destruction now, like you said, you remember that what do they call it now? When they brought all of them together in Abuja, paid them handsomely, and said they should look for ways to restructure during the time of President Jonathan. That was done. When Buhari came, Buhari said not under his watch, and he jettisoned it. What does that say to you? That these people are not interested in anything that will benefit any other ethnic group other than their Fulani group. So I don't know why people are still crying and weeping over restructuring. It's not going to happen. And they are only going to use it to waste our time the more. The Constitution majority that gave us that they said after 100 years we have a right to say that we want what we want to do. That time has come, is gone. We have told them what we want to do. We want self-determination. How loud can we shout it? We want self-determination. We are asking, let there be another sitting together and let us determine how we go our separate ways. We are not the only country that has done that. Czechoslovakia was a country. Today you have the Czech, you have the Slovakia. India was one country where it didn't work like this our own. They broke into India and Pakistan. After some time, when Pakistan, the fair complexion one were harassing the dark complexion ones, they divided them. They became Pakistan and Bangladesh. Today, everybody is self-determining themselves. That's a structure that is similar to our own. You have the Fulanis, the northern people, you have the Yorubas in the southwest, you have the Igbos in the southeast. We don't look alike. We don't eat alike. We don't serve the same God even. They call Allah, our own call Babalawo or Jesus. The Igbos, they call Ayelala or whatever it is. There is a reason why God planted everybody in their own lands. Lord Lugar's fraud, British fraud, brought us together. And if it's not working, the British themselves says after 100 years, then look again whether you still want to work together. The 100 years is past. We don't want to work together. Is it by force that you get married to somebody? This is the reason why they do, even in law, why you have divorce and you have the divorce court. We want to divorce. We don't want to be married to Nigeria anymore. Can two work together except they agree? We are not in an agreement anymore. Let the Igbo say they want to go. Okay, we have the group that we call the NINAS. NINAS is an acronym for Nigeria Indigenous Nationalities for Self-Determination. It is made up of the alliance of the Middle Belt, the South Middle Belt, and the South Middle Belt Forum. You have the Lower Niger Congress, the Southeast and the South-South. You have the Yorubas. And they will say, leave us alone, let us go our own separate ways. Only the Fulanis who are benefiting, and those who are the so-called Fulanis, or those who have parents, like Fanika Yode is telling us now, that his mother is a Fulani. We are just hearing that now. We've always wondered, why is always they done things against the Yorubas? People didn't understand. Now we understand that is half Fulani. So he can when he favors him to be a Yoruba, he will be a Yoruba. When he doesn't favor him, he will be a Fulani. So we are not talking of people like that. They are the ones crying for destruction because of what they're going to do. We want to go. Yoruba nation now. Igbo now. Now, let's all go our separate ways. The people who brought us together said we can do that after 100 years. 100 years is past. Let us do that. Thank you.
Again, because the format I use when I have guests like you, I want to tap into your understanding, your knowledge of your area of occupation, and that's why I'm going to stay longer in discussing area of law and public and social and cultural. And we already know that you are an evangelist. Are you an evangelist? Evangelist?
No, I am an evangelist. Yes.
Yes, but because of I might not be able to tonight. All right. Really, yeah. Tó yọ mí lẹ́nu tó bí mi nínú ni pé kí ni wàhálà wa, kí ni tó ń bí àwọn kan nínú tó ń ta, kí ni àwọn Yorùbá, àwọn olóyè, àwọn àgbààgbà Yorùbá, kí ni ṣé ojú ń dùn wọn ni, ṣé wọn ò rí nǹkan tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, kí ni nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ lórí ìgbà tí wọ́n bá lu gbogbo ìgbà tí wọ́n ti lu ọmọ tí wọ́n pa. Is that difficult for them to understand pé àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ ló jábẹ́gún dé, àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ ni wọ́n ń lé lọ́sàn-án lóru lálẹ́, àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ náà ń ṣálàdà. Kí ló ń ṣe àwọn èèyàn tiwa? Kí ló fà á tí penetration campaign yìí tí ò tí ì dé ọ̀dọ̀ ordinary àwọn ọba tí a ṣe gbọ́ àwọn kan tó ń ṣe pé àwọn ọba kan wà sáyẹn tí ìmú gbó, that's fine, they can choose to ohun tó bá wọn náà lè ṣe, wọ́n lè kó wọn rà. Àwọn tí wọ́n mú gbó tán wà ní kí ló dé, kí ni nǹkan tán fẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa, àwa tí àwa ń di pé a fẹ́ lọ yìí, kí ni wọ́n tún fẹ́? Ṣó dìgbà tán bá gé orí tí wọ́n fi sáàfù pẹpẹ soup fún wọn ni kò yé mi. Dr. Janet.
It is not a funny matter. Honestly, it's not a funny matter. When you don't have good leadership, Yorubas don't have good leaders. I gave a speech on that is circulating right now on the internet. I don't know if you have it. I'll send it to you.
I had it.
We don't have. Okay. We don't have good leaders right now. We have leaders that you will call Bamu Bamu Nimoyo. Yes. That's the kind of leadership that we have.
And that is the
And then don't forget that because these people are leaders,
truth.
they know where they are going. They believe that they have indulged our people in wrong things. They let them get away with wrong things. For instance, I give you an example. Some of these others, when they come abroad, they deal in human trafficking. They gather people together. Their chiefs may not be more than 4 or 5. They can bring up to 50 people. People that they will get money from to come and plant here. They get here and they disappear because they are not related to Oba, they are not chief, they are not anything. But the Oba has made a lot of money through that. The government knows. They allow him to do it. But they write it down. They don't know. For them, as one good deed that we did for this Oba. So if it comes back, another good deed that we did for this Oba. So when a situation like that comes up, it becomes a blackmail for them. So maybe sometimes they forget and they begin to talk against the people who have done them good in the past. And then those people will now remind them that we actually need to investigate your trip of so here, your this thing of so time. And what did Oba be doing? Oba Baba Yagbesarani.
Oh God.
And you have people who are buying jets. There are taxes to be paid. Even where they park it, there are taxes and fees to be paid. They let them off the hook. Maybe they pay the minimum and they record it for Pastor so-and-so or Chief so-and-so or Mr. so-and-so, one good deed. They have files on all of them. Files on all of them. Okay? That is why when they want to talk, they remind them, we did you a good deed on this time. We are asking you now to repay us for our good deed. Don't join them in this thing that they are saying, and we will do you good. You will hear the Oba or the pastor or the something say something, and then after that, they begin to say, no, it's going to be restructuring. Those who are talking of self-determination, they are evil. They are wrong. They are this. Because they already showed them the scorecard. Talk and go to jail. They have the rabbit dog that they call their EFCC. EFCC is another name for the presidency. They are not neutral. They are put there to be neutral, to make sure that things are okay, that there is nothing like bribery, nothing like nepotism, nothing like robbing people. But what do you have? If you belong to the presidency, you are a sacred cow. That's why you're going to have people like the Ziani. The Ziani is in the millions of dollars. And the FCC was investigating her. What did she do? She crossed to PDP and to APC. Do we hear anything about the Ziani today anymore? So that's the kind of Stella
already
that is what you have. It is the blackmailing that is silencing our leaders. What it get be? So what it get be? Be now is knocking their door and saying you don't want to cook be, you better follow us. And then we want you to be the one to speak now on our behalf. Tell them that restructuring is what you want. Tell them that self-determination is bad. Show us the houses of those who are talking of self-determination so that we can go and teach them lessons. Sunday Igbo, they came to his house in a very wrong manner that we are now hearing through the court. Sunday Igbo is from Oyo State. Oyo State has a governor. They met with the other governors and say, whenever you want to come like this, you must let us know. Okay, the one they already came and did. What did you do about it? Sunday Igbo as a king. Where is the king in all this? Now the court is saying that they are wrong. I thank God for those judges who can still speak up, because in Nigeria today, if you speak up too much, they will tell you to appear at the office of DSS and come with your international passport, or we declare you wanted. That is what is going on. They are the only ones who can talk and say any rubbish that they want to say. Those who are making sense will get punished for it. So, all this constitution or no constitution is a fraud. All this, what can we do together? Let's restructure, is a fraud. The only way out right now, which the Fulani say they will not do, is to live peacefully. Let there be the right thing to do. And they have said, it's over their dead body. What is it that people are not hearing? But the reason why they are not hearing is because what I just explained to you as a lawyer. Okay? I know that is what is going on.
Thank you. A friend called me when the news broke that Pani Kayode decamped. I say he did not decamp. He has been running around. And I said, and I said to this my friend, I said, I do sympathize with Pani Kayode. And the truth of the matter is, there's a long list of these crooks, criminals, people who have messed up the country called Nigeria. They've done so many bad things to the people of Nigeria, and we cannot keep quiet. You and I cannot afford to keep quiet. But they believe that joining the party in power will save them. But they don't forget that time is a very important aspect of our life. Time will always be. The time is going. The time is ticking. You can join any party today. You can run. But the truth of the matter is, they will not be able to hide. Am I right to say that? Because as it is, I just mentioned a couple of people I know. They because they know what exactly is going to happen to them. Those are the people who have questions to answer about the way they have looted the commonwealth of the people. And the truth will always be that they will have a day in court, whether during this administration or under the administration. That's the one good thing about criminal law. There's no, am I right to say that? There's no time back. They can always look for them. So, and they are going to get, the judgment is going to, they're going to meet their Waterloo. Because it's very sad when you see somebody like a Nigerian who comes to sympathize with the atrocity perpetrated on a Nigerian, a co-Nigerian like myself, and say, I'm touching you. That I'm referring to, I mean, what is his name? Panika, they're going to Igbo. How could they have come to you middle of the night? Because they came to wanted to kill him. Luckily, the man survived. And after that, I said, I will never have anything to do with this government. Oh, they are terrible. Oh. And what happened now? Because the news, you know when you start pulling the news, it's getting closer to and you can even change. I'm worried because I have a confrontation. I hope this meeting gets to him. And I said, you cannot continue to run the country like this. You've gone away with so much millions of people's money. We do not have airline. Isn't that a shame that Nigeria used to have Nigeria Airways? Everything we had before, Dr. Jade, Fashakin, 20, 30 years ago. We don't have any of them. Things are getting poorer. Things are getting more and more unbelievably happening to us. So, and I said to my friend, I said, fine. This guy is running for, Igbo was running for his life. This one is running from corruption, because all what he's trying to do is to hide. And you know what? This is not the first time he jumped to APCO. It's going to come back. But let's move on, Dr. Jade. Well, I'm not coming to a point, an area in this talk show where I believe you subscribe to the notion of when someone is doing something, or when some people are doing something and the same thing, and they're not getting result, it is better for this group of people to think, to want to sit down together and start talking how best can we do it. I am one of the people that think that way, that let's make a change, and our change revolve around the area of, we've tried more than enough, we can't continue, because we can't afford to mortgage our children, because you and I are not going to be here forever. Our children are going to come a stage at a time, and when they look at how messy things have been handled in our area, in that part of the country, they probably will start sending courses to whoever. I don't know, you are spiritual. I don't know whether somewhere else. But when we start doing that, I'm feeling the pain already when I'm alive. I'm feeling the pain that if my grandson were to start causing me pain, why? How do you feel in this journey? How do you think we are not still penetrating to the people we are trying to liberate? Because you and I, we're doing fine. I'm sure you have a 27/4 electricity. You can drive out at any time. You have your 3 square meal. You have a roof over your head. But what about people that live in the rural area who have never seen light the last 3 years, who are dealing with 001 or 110, whatever, all that kind of, they can owe it 3 times. They have no Medicare, they have no roads, their children have no access to education, and on top of it all, they are not safe. What do you say to this situation? And how do you think we can help?
How can if I get you right, are you saying how can our people be helped?
Yes.
How can they enjoy
our campaign, your campaign and my campaign? Oh, by the way, quickly, I want to see this. I want to seek your indulgence. I have been campaigning. I started it not long ago. I just turn around and say, look, because we're supposed to display or demonstrate that we are more wiser, we are more clever than our opponent. Our opponent want to see us as agitators, and I'm thinking at time we need to start saying we are campaigners. We are campaigning, but we are not violent, because agitators, you and I know that in English, there may be something aggressive. We are not. We are very reasonable people. We are very people who want to talk our whatever we believe in. So how can we penetrate? Why are we not penetrating enough for our people? Forget about those who are corporate beggars among all the elites in Nigeria. I'm referring to Obas and chiefs and those who think they are afraid. They don't want to be caught. They don't want to be arrested. These are Adisas of Yorubas. Yorubani Adisala, and I don't know where they're carrying the 300 million they have in their account. So I don't, but our own young people, the youth, how can we penetrate this campaign of wanting to liberate them?
Well, we are trying. And I think when we say we are trying, it is not an easy road to trek, especially when you have people who have like tribal leaders, and their tribal leaders don't know what they are doing. They don't see the danger that is coming to them. The people tend to follow their leaders. But what we are doing now, we are asking people to engage people one-on-one. Show them what they should be benefiting. Show them what they have now. Peradventure, that will make them to wake up, because there is something about slavery. Somebody gave me, one of my professors gave me an analogy that if you tie a goat to a spot for a long time and you are feeding the goat there once in a while, it says after some time, when you let the goat go, the goat will still be going around where you tied it, because that's the only place that he knows. So when these people have been used to so much suffering, sometimes they turn it to a religious acceptance. That kind of thing. You see, they begin to accept it. So a lot has to come from those who are in leadership over them. Like I said, I'm an evangelist. I'm also a pastor. So you can preach it from the pulpit. let people know what is right and what is wrong. The teachers, which I know that they can get arrested, can look for a way to sensitize the students they are teaching as to what their rights are. These people, Nigeria has not seen the fight of peasants before. What we are seeing that is coming from the north is the fight of some of the partly of their margeries, the people that they have disenfranchised for so long, who are now seeing money, and then when you tell them go and kill, go and cut, they are ready to go because they've never seen such a wealth in their life before. So Nigeria is likely to face the wrath of the peasants in the years to come if they don't do something now. Now, whatever it is that they're supposed to have, that the government is not giving them, they are not even asking anyway. And when you go to them, they will tell you, oh, we don't want to hear. Like I told you, I'm a pastor. We have some pastors that will say we don't want, they are Yorubas. They have families in Nigeria. They will tell you they don't want to hear about this Yoruba nation. They don't want you to bring it to their churches. So if those people were to be in Nigeria, what would they be saying to our people who are suffering?
Okay.
Just because they are comfortable themselves. They don't care. They are forgetting that they can go to Nigeria and be kidnapped from the airport. They are forgetting that their family members can go to Nigeria and get raped. But until it happens to them personally, they are not going to learn. These Obas that you are talking about now, when they begin to kidnap Oloris and rape Olori in front of Oba, that's when Oba is going to come out and say, when they begin to cut the Oba's neck gone before it's the Joyes, that's when the whole town will now stand up. So things that have not come personally to them, they don't understand this. So and then for as long as they are giving them the tokens, the leaders,
we love you.
they are sending them the tokens. They buy Mercedes Benz for this Oba. The Oba that they think is not their own, they don't buy for him. So the one they bought for is going to really preach the gospel of their slave masters. So until the things begin to happen to them, you know something that I couldn't understand is sometimes this thing happens to them, but because they are used to it. There was a king that was killed in Yoruba land. He was coming from the meeting of the Obas when he was killed by the Fulani Icemen. Till today, you never had any king make any comment. You never had the kings come together to say how this is happening to us.
2020.
Why?
Video time
so our problem is really deep rooted than we think. But through education, systematic education, making people to be aware, not keeping quiet. Sometimes distributing flyers in remote parts of the world, hoping that they can read, because you don't have a lot of teachers now who can even teach them. But, you know, I will say through one by one. If you have family members, call them. Let them know what they are facing. Because the government is controlling news. They are controlling the news outlets. So it is what their reporters, what they want them to say, that they will say. They won't show where they are killing people. It is the Fulani themselves who are showing their own atrocities. It is not our news media. So people don't know what is coming to them. They don't know what is happening at the next village until it comes to their own village, because the news outlet, the news media is being controlled by the government. So those who are in Nigeria who don't follow what they are doing, like the Sahara reporters, you see where Sowore is, because Sahara reporters will always report what is correct. Whereas MB's Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, we always report propaganda. They will say they give you borehole. The borehole, on the day they're going to commission it, they will pour water directly into the tank, open it, and then there will be water. And then come next week,
no water.
The water has dried up. That is the kind of borehole, and they will make noise about it. The news people will come. So how can you convince those people? who were not even there when that was commissioned, to believe that it was not really commissioned, to believe that there was just an empty tank that they put there, that they say that water is coming to. How are you going to do that? Propaganda is too much in Nigeria. And our leaders are allowing it to filter to our people through radio, through television, through newspapers, through what they are saying to them. So it's difficult to get to them. That is why we have to do something like Radio Kudirat that people abroad did during the time of Abacha, where we were able to send news to Nigeria that Abacha himself tried, could not locate where he was coming from the waves. So the people in the diaspora, they have a lot to play, a lot of roles to play in making our people to understand. Otherwise, they are looking at those of us who are saying self-determination as evil. They don't understand. They're looking at us as that's the way they see us. Those who are killing them, they look at them as their messiahs. That's the problem. Propaganda is too much.
Well, again, I think it's very, very sad for some of our people who cannot see why they choose to be blind, to block their minds to atrocities being perpetrated just in front of them. And they're staring all these things in front, at their faces. And they refuse to do something. I think that's the worst crime anybody can commit. Now, with your permission, we're going to go on a short break now, Dr. Fashakin. And because of what we have experienced before, we want to see if we can bring in some people to log on. We have many people waiting at the door, so we can allow them to come in. So also, with your permission, if you allow me, for some of the people that are coming in to ask you questions, that'd be great. Otherwise, I still have a couple of questions to ask you. So we're going to go on a short break. But before we go, we want to say this is Mobide Radio TV. The program going on is one-on-one with Otuba Hu. And my guest tonight is a highly learned woman. I don't want to use Yoruba woman. Let me put it that way. I'm very proud of it. Yoruba woman is my guest tonight. She's a social, religious, economic, and everything activist. She has been helping thousands of people in America. She's located to America, I think about 30 years. So
helping a lot of people in America.
To have her. So after the break, please, thank you. Grab water, and then we'll be back shortly. Thank you.
eré tí mo kọ́kọ́ bá wọn ṣe nígbà náà à ń pè ní báyìí
mo gbédè o.
The time of Baba Awolowo, we had a place that they call Cocoa House.
Let's have a quick house rule. If we don't call you, do not unmute yourself. Please be kind enough to just listen to us, to watch the program, enjoy yourself. And please, if you have anything or a question you want to ask, just feel free. Raise up your hand. So Dr. Fashakin is still with me, and ask her a question you think relate to what we are discussing. Now, thank you for that. Dr. Fashakin, welcome back to this second segment. It's my pleasure to have you. Yeah. And I want to ask you one more question. It's relating to this journey, and you understand the journey I'm talking about. This journey where we are campaigning for sex actualization, and that we have so many brains. We have so many brains. In fact, and you and I and some other people think, how can we be so endowed? How can we have so many brains? If yelling were to drop out tomorrow, a Nigerian young man of 39 years is going to be in history of America going to be.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ó tún ní fídíò kan tí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ jẹ́ ká tún jọ wò yàtọ̀ sílẹ̀ tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ ẹ ti gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tí ìyàwó Fashakin sọ látẹ̀kan mo tún fẹ́ kẹ́ jẹ́ ká tún jọ wo iṣẹ́ ribiribi eléyìí náà tí ìyàwó Fashakin ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n dágbére fáyé ẹ jájọ wò ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi ẹ já tún jọ wò ṣe pé mo sọ fún yín pé ó pé méjì mẹ́ta tí mo ní lọ́wọ́ ẹ já tún jọ wo eléyìí náà ká tún jọ wo lára iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí màmá wa Fashakin tí wọ́n ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n dágbére fún ayé ẹ bá wa wo fídíò yìí kẹ́ tó bá wa gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu màmá wa Fashakin kí ó tó di pé màmá wọ́n fi ọwọ́ àdàgbà ètò kó tó di pé wọ́n fi rọ̀ síbì kan ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa mo rí pé ẹ ti gbọ́ iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí màmá yìí ti ṣe ẹ rí pé akíkanjú ni wọ́n nínú ìjàngbara yìí kó tó di pé wọ́n lọ ẹ tún jẹ́ àjọ wo fídíò yìí lára iṣẹ́ tí màmá wa Fashakin ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n dágbére fáyé náà lílé yìí lára iṣẹ́ yìí òun ni ń wò yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lára iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣe kó tó di pé wọ́n jáde láyé.
Of the time, because his NCNC was the party to be. Prominent Yoruba were his allies. The rancor that broke out in the NCNC upon the tour by his big wigs to London in August 1947, August 13th, as a matter of fact, to meet the Labour Colonial Secretary Chris Jones, brought Yoruba leaders back to their senses. Criticism against the failure of the war and squandering of this £13,000 public donated money by the party was spearheaded by Yoruba in the party, who called on the delegation to account for the money they earmarked for the mission. This resulted in Azikiwe using a West African pilot newspaper and a cache of his apostles like Arozondiogu born Umbonu Ojike of the Boycottables fame, and Oged Macaulay to attack these Yoruba leaders, many of whom constituted the help of those who criticized him. Many Yoruba eventually withdrew from the NCNC. At a time, Awolowo was putting together his pet dream of uniting Yoruba. Please give me 1 second. Now, Awolowo formed, I want to say what happened thereafter. And that has become history now. Many of the people sitting here may be old enough to know what I'm talking about. I'm not too young in the 60s to know what happened as well. Okay. Because I came from a political family. Okay, and I know what my father went through in the hands of fellow Yorubas. That's why we need to talk to ourselves. We can make Fulanis our enemies all we want. We need to look inwards and see where we are. I mentioned 3 Babalawos who came to Igbo's house when I started talking. They were not Fulanis, they were not Hausas, they were not the white people. They were our own people, our own Yoruba people.
Oh, God.
Now, Awolowo formed the Egbe Omo Oduduwa, a name suggested by Professor Saburi Obaku in 1945 at the age of 36, and chose as its symbol a lamp with 5 witches, which late Professor of History S.O. Arifalo said symbolized the 5-pronged aims of the Egbe, which were love, charity, concord, friendship, and posterity. The Egbe Adalia made the mistake of publicly submitting that the lamp symbolized the 5 prominent kings in Yoruba land. This, the 5 fingers of the Yoruba hand, to which the Oni of Ife, the Alaafin of Oyo, the Alake of Abeokuta, the Awujale of Ijebu-Ode, and the Oba of Benin. And for this, the Egbe made a ritual sacrifice of 5 lambs. The Ijeshas, I'm an Ijesha lady, the Ijesha, for decades to come, thereafter became traditional enemies of whatever party. Mama, Awolowo and your NCNC and the other person is AG or whatever. That's what we are going to love you, man. For they felt insulted that their king, the then Oba was not recognized in this rulership assembly. Outside of Yoruba land, Awo's Egbe was attacked by Zik and his lieutenants. Sir Adeyemo Alakija, leader of the Egbe, became the hub of bitter, crude, and vulgar personal insults by Igbo. mainly residents of Lagos, while the Egbe was variously described by them as the bane of our age, a nihilist, a totalitarian, a fascist organization, dirty exhibition of egocentric stupidity, ethnocentric arrogance, and capitalized idiocy. They gave so many adjectives. Awolowo took over leadership of the Yoruba at a time when Yoruba was still very volatile. For instance, the Agbekoya uprising in the Western region came almost at this period. The Peasant Farmers Union had gone berserk in the region in protestation against high taxation during the Civil War. They held the government of the West literally hostage, handing soldier administrators and civil servants as well as royal fathers. In the process, Oba Olateru Olagbegi of Owo was handed and eventually fled his throne. So also the Odem of Ishera, Oba Samuel Akinsanya. While the Shon Ogbomoso, the traditional ruler of Chief Samuel Ladoke Akintola's town, suffered the worst fate as he was beheaded by the protesting farmers. It was Awolowo who was invited by the military to help quell the uprising. He eventually toured the West and secure his manifold tranquility. People, we are talking about leadership in Yoruba land. Anyway, this leadership by Awolowo and his lieutenants subsisted until 1987, when it transited mortality for immortality. Within that short space, the group had molded the minds of millions of people, performed excellently in infrastructure, and put the Yoruba on the global map for cultural affinity, dexterity, and hard work. Upon his exit, the man who fell on Chief Michael Adekunle Ajashin, one of Awolowo's trusted allies and associate and former governor of Ondo State. Ajashin was in fact a year older than Awolowo, having been born in 1908. His tenure as leader of the Yoruba marked the period of anti-military and pro-democracy struggles in Nigeria, where the Yoruba acquitted themselves admirably. Ajashin, alongside 39 others, were arrested by General Sani Abacha, accused of holding an illegal political meeting. How did he know that? The military administrator of his home, Ondo, Anthony Onyeru Gulen, had also ridden roughshod on him during this time, on account of his avoidance by the collective disempowered with military rule by his Yoruba people and Nigerians in general. At his death in 1997, which many of us seated here, whether you are young, you should be able to understand that, Ajashin handed over to Chief Ibrahim Adesanya, whose tenure contended with a hybrid of both military rule and the sitting pangs of post-1999 civilian rule. Adesanya's leadership too was passionate and witnessed an ordered quest for a worthy role by the Yoruba in the scheme of things. The mantle of leadership is in the hands of, after that one, went to Pa Ruben Fashakin, ably backed and supported by Awo diehards like Olaniwon Ajayi, now late, and Ayo Adebanjo. And I want to say kudos to Pa Ayo Adebanjo. The man has been very vocal, not even afraid of his life. He kept speaking truth to power. And I love him for that. We don't have many leaders in Yoruba land right now. All these leaders that I spoke about, they are traceable and they had a traceable life trajectories. They were well-funded and rooted in Yoruba land. They had the love of Yoruba. But many times they were sabotaged by fellow Yorubas. And we're still suffering from the same thing. Sometimes you will sabotage because the person who is in leadership is not from your ethnic group. It's not for your sub-ethnic group, because our ethnicity is Yoruba. But the person is either Ibadan and you are an Ekiti person, and you want to pull the person down. I am speaking to this generation of Yoruba. Let us do things differently. Let us begin to see ourselves first and foremost as Yoruba, who have to forge ahead in unity. Look at the Fulanis. You think they are all from the same sub-ethnic group? But when it comes to fighting their enemies, they are united. Yorubas are not. Look at what happened to Sunday. The woman that led them there, they said, I wasn't there. kept saying that you said it was home. You said it was home. And I'm sure there was no Fulani in that home that day. Who would have said that? A Yoruba person. And they said when they took his cat, it was the herbalist that came with them that told them to go and arrest all his cats. And they said the biggest one was Sunday Igboho, and they should handcuff him. They are lucky that Nigeria is not like America, where we have animal rights. They themselves would have been in trouble. Handcuff cats, because the fake herbalist told them that was Sunday Igboho. He told them he was in the ceiling. They broke all his ceilings. The person that was killed was shot 42 times. It was the Babalawo that told them to pound his head as if they are pounding yam, like pounded yam. Pound his head until they almost cut off the head. That was why shamelessly, and shame to you DSS of Nigeria, that you will be killing your citizens in Nigeria. They almost beheaded him. That was why they couldn't leave the dead body behind. They had to drag him in his pool of blood. But who orchestrated that? The Yorubas. Leadership in Yoruba land has never been this deplorable. Because they even traced the attack. They shut him up, although the Oba has come out to denounce that and said he didn't participate in the coming to Sunday Igboho's.
Ó mà lágbára o. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ rí pé ó lágbára ni, ẹ rí pé ó lágbára ni. Ẹ rí pé ó lágbára ni. Ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ tí ìyá wa Jane Fashakin sọ ńbẹ̀ yẹn. Ó ní ní ìgbà tí àwọn àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ dáadáa fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, tí wọ́n ń pèrò bí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe máa bọ́ lóko ẹrú, ó láwọn kan tún gbéra wọn lọ report fún Abacha ní láti General Abacha ní láti arrest everybody wọn. Ó ní báwo l'Abacha ṣe mọ̀, so tó túmọ̀ sí pé Yorùbá wa iná ló lọ tó lọ bá Abacha pé wọ́n máa ti ó di meeting pẹ̀lú lórí o bọ́n ṣe máa yọ ẹ́ nípò, bọ́n ṣe máa ṣe torí owó tó fẹ́ lọ gbà lọ́wọ́ Abacha kí wọ́n lè rójú rere Abacha, kábàṣà lè gbowó fún wọn pé káre o ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ dáadáa, wọ́n lè gbowó lọlé. Òun ni wọ́n torí ẹ̀ ṣe. Now ìyàwó ẹ̀ tún sọ̀rọ̀, ó ní tí ò bá sí pé àwọn ọba wa kan lọ́wọ́ bọ́n ṣe lọ lùtìlé bàbá wo lóyè, ó ní kò sí bọ́n ṣe fẹ́ ṣe é. Ó ní torí pé ejò lọ́wọ́ nínú oní babaláwo ló sọ wípé gbogbo ológbò tẹ́ bá olóyè Ìgbòho ló paradà di ológbò, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ make sure pé pa gbogbo wọn. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ tún sọ wípé ẹni ológbò tẹ́ bá ti rí sẹ́ ẹ make sure pé ẹgbẹ̀mí rẹ̀, torí pé olóyè Adéyẹmọ òun ló sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ dológbò, so ẹ make sure pé ẹ pa ẹni ológbò tí ẹ bá rí o. Now ó wá tún sọ ńbẹ̀ pé àwọn àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wa kan wà tó jẹ́ wípé bàbá ń sọ wípé Yorùbá fẹ́ bọ́ lóko ẹrú. Ó láwọn bàbá yìí náà ni wọ́n máa gba wájú gba ẹ̀yìn tí wọ́n máa sọ wípé àwọn yẹn fẹ́ da ìlú rú ni, pé wọ́n fẹ́ ba ìlú jẹ́ ni, pé àwọn yẹn ò kì í ṣèyàn gidi, àwọn gangan ló fẹ́ ba ìlú jẹ́, àwọn ni ò jẹ́ kí ìlú ó dáa. Ó ní wọ́n máa against àwọn yẹn, àbí kí wọ́n plan bó ṣe máa parú èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Òun náà ló ṣẹlẹ̀, irú nǹkan tí ìyàwó yìí sọ yìí, òun náà ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà protest eléyìí tí ó kọjá yìí, nípa ebi ń pa wá protest tó lọ. Ẹ rí wípé àwọn àgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kan dìde nígbà tí àwọn èèyàn kan sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ jáde láti fi ẹ̀rúnú wọn hàn. Àwọn àgbà kan dìde, wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ ba Èkó jẹ́ ni, wọ́n fẹ́ destroy Èkó ni. Fúdìí èyí protest kankan ò gbọ́dọ̀ wáyé, protest kankan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀, protest kankan ò gbọ́dọ̀ wáyé, ọmọ kankan ò gbọ́dọ̀ jáde. Ẹ rí pé àwọn àgbààgbà kan tún jáde, wọ́n gbé ìwo màlúù, wọ́n gbé jáde, wọ́n tún ń ṣẹ́ èpè ní ìta gbangba. Ẹni ọmọkọmọ kan tó bá jáde, ó máa ráre kú ni, ó máa kú dànù ni. Ẹ rí pé àwọn ọlọ́dẹ, àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà kan tó òòṣà kóńgà, ẹ rí pé àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà under òòṣà kóńgà kan tún jáde in connection with Gani Adams. Wọ́n tún jáde pé tí 100 èèyàn bá jáde, ó lè jẹ́ bí 70 péré ló ó lè jẹ́ bí 30 péré ló máa padà sílé, kí 70 yòókù máa kú sójú ogun àbí máa kú sí ẹnu protest yẹn. ẹ rí i pé ọba kan náà tún dìde ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, mo ní fídíò ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ṣùgbọ́n àkókò ò gbà mí láti show ẹ̀. Ọba kan náà jáde ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn tó tún jáde síta níta gbangba tó tún sọ fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn pé kí ọlọ́mọ ó kìlọ̀ fọ́mọ ẹ̀ pé anybody ò gbọ́dọ̀ jáde láti protest kankan àfi tí wọ́n bá máa kú sínú oko ẹrú yẹn. So ẹ wá wo gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí ìyá wa Janet Fashakin sọ yìí láti 2021 ní o, kẹ wá wò ó sí ìgbà tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé gbogbo nǹkan tí màmá yìí sọ kò sí irọ́ ẹyọ kan bẹ́ẹ̀. So àwọn kan ń bẹ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn tẹ̀yìn bá sọ pé fẹ́ ṣoríire, wọ́n rẹ́dì tó bá ti rí pé oríire tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe yẹn ó máa fẹ́ affecting kankan lára wọn ò ní jẹ́ kẹ́ ṣoríire yẹn, torí pé kí ni me and my family ni gbogbo wọn mọ̀. So wọn ò fẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè, wọn ò fẹ́ kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kúrò lóko ẹrú, wọ́n ṣàfẹ́ kí Yorùbá máa jìyà. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé nínú ìyà tí Yorùbá bá ń jẹ yẹn, ibẹ̀ ni ọrọ̀ àlùmọ́nì tí máa jẹ tiwọn, ibẹ̀ náà ti máa tà wá, ibẹ̀ náà ti máa fi wá gbowó, ibẹ̀ náà ti máa fi wá ṣe pàṣípààrọ̀ góòdì. Ẹ wo ọba tó lọ ń wa góòdì, tó lọ ń kó góòlù wa láìpẹ́ yìí tí ó ń ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá tí ìjọba mú tó ń ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. So irú àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n dàyà dé nìyẹn ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, torí wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn ọba mi sì pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o tí wọ́n ṣe ń wa góòlù yẹn lọ́nà àìlẹ́tọ̀ọ́ o, ṣùgbọ́n ṣe rá àwọn ọba yẹn wọn ò lè mú wọn torí pé kí ni wọ́n fún Fúlàní ń bẹ̀, àwọn ìjọba kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n fún wọn ń bẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ọba ilé tí wọ́n mú yẹn mo rí pé mo jẹ́ ọ̀kánjúwà tí wọ́n lọ bá pé fún tiẹ̀ jẹ́ kájọ máa ṣe tó ní láíláí kò sí tó jọ, àbí tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo àwọn tó yẹ kó jọ máa jẹ́ kíní yẹn tó fi tọ́ọ̀gì lé wọn kiri náà fi òpó kì í já sẹ̀tì ẹ̀ up já kúkú gbé kó bọ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. So many obas ló sì dàyà dé àwọn góòlù wa, àwọn àlùmọ́nì wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé àwa tá à ń pariwo Yorùbá nation yìí, tí Yorùbá nation yẹn bá lè dé gbàgán gbogbo ibi tó ti ń rí owó yẹn ọwọ́ wọn máa kákò, wọn ò ní lè débẹ̀ mọ́, torí pé a máa lófin tuntun, a máa ní ìjọba tuntun, a máa ní pólíìsì tuntun, a máa ní àmì tuntun, gbogbo àwọn tó wà tó jẹ́ military, gbogbo wọn tuntun ló máa jẹ́ òfin tuntun. So kò ní sí òfin olè 1999 constitution tí wọ́n lò tó fi ń jalè ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tó fi ń rúdù ṣe gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn kò ní sí yẹn mọ́. So òun ni wọ́n ṣe ń gbé wá pa, òun ni wọ́n ṣe ní kán lọ sílé olóyè kán lọ pa olóyè mọ́lé, because wọ́n believe pé tó bá ti lè pa olóyè akọni wo ló tún fẹ́ jáde. Ṣèbí ẹ̀rí Gani Adams lẹ́ni pé gbogbo agbára àmọ̀tẹ́kùn tí wọ́n gbé sí lọ́rùn bí wọ́n ṣe gu àmọ̀tẹ́kùn fún, tí gbogbo wa ń ké olórí ogun rèé. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹmu ló lọ fi ń mu ní patí? Oúnjẹ wọ́n gbóúnjẹ kọjá bí eléyìí, owó ẹ̀yìn bí eléyìí ni pé wọ́n ti gbóúnjẹ fóun lódìdí àgbàlagbà jagunjagun. Wọ́n gbóúnjẹ báyìí wọ́n ṣàfò oúnjẹ, owó ẹ̀yìn ni pé ìgbà tó máa ṣàfò òun èyí tó fi awọ ẹkùn ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, awọ ẹkùn Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́, ẹmu ló fi ń mu, ọtí náà fi ń mu ní bí àpàlọ̀ kiri, pàtí ló fi ń ṣe kiri. Tala lágbára tó tún lè jáde tó lè dàbí olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ tó bá jẹ́ wípé wọ́n rí pa ní ọjọ́ tí wọ́n lọ pa yẹn, tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ lódodo olóńgbò tí wọ́n gbé yẹn olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ni. Àwọn olóńgbò tó gbé lọ yẹn báyìí inú ásìdì náà ju gbogbo ẹ̀ sí, torí wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó bá yin ní ìbọn tó lọ jù dànù, wọ́n mọ̀ pé bàbá wa alápàájí ni, ó tún lè dìde, bàbá tún lè gbéra ńlẹ̀ ó tún yíra padà. So gbogbo nǹkan ni wọ́n ti rò pé máa yan alápàájí ni ó lè jẹ́ inú ásìdì ni wọ́n ju gbogbo àwọn olóńgbò yẹn sí tọ́kó lọ. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n lọ pa olóyè lọ́jọ́ kìíní àná, ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé èmi àti yín kò ní sí ẹ̀dá alàyè kan tó máa lè dìde pé òun fẹ́ jagun. Ẹ wo ìgbà tọmọlóyè sí Benin Republic, ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn alágbára kéékèèké kan, torí alágbára kéékèèké ni mo lè pè wọ́n, gbogbo wọn bẹ̀ sí ní ṣe fídíò olóyè 1 million láwọn ẹlẹ́tanú, àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n ń jealous, tó yẹ pé agbára yẹn lóòótọ́ ni wọ́n ní o, ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò gbójúgbóyà bí ọmọ Adéyẹmọ. Ọlọ́run ò fi rán wọn, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ń jáde ńgbà yẹn mílíọ̀n olóyè kò wà, mílíọ̀n kíní kan wọ́n fi bẹ̀ sí ní scam ní diaspora. Èmi àti gbàdó kékeré sáyà, bá ti gbàdó kékeré sáyà bá ti sáyé ṣe fídíò, àwọn èèyàn ti máa pè pé báwo ni kíní kan òun náà tún parọ́ àtúnjẹun. Ó kọra nǹkan tó yẹ pé àwọn ará diaspora fi dà pé wọ́n fà díẹ̀ sẹ́yìn lórí àti máa náwó lórí Yorùbá nation, ṣùgbọ́n a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run lọ́jọ́ tòní wọ́n sì dìde torí wọ́n ti mọ̀ òtítọ́ àti ìyè náà. So ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀, màmá wa Fashakin sọ̀rọ̀ kan bí, ó ní kí àwa Yorùbá, ó ní ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè jọ jìjàǹgbara yìí, torí pé tá a bá fọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ láti jà ìjà yìí ó lè tó 20 ọdún mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́, ó lè tó 50 years mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ now 50 years to your age ní ìwọ tó ń jàjàgbara 50 years to your age ǹjẹ́ 50 years pẹ̀lú age tèmi ṣé mo tún lè pariwo mo ṣe pariwo ìmọ̀ bóyá ẹ̀yin bíi mẹ́rin ló máa kù sí olúwa ẹ̀gan lẹ́nu gbà yẹn because 50 years to my age lọ́jọ́ tòní èmi náà ti bóyá ẹ̀yin ẹyọ kan ló tiẹ̀ máa kù gan sí olúwa ẹ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ wá wo àwọn ọmọ wa kí ni ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà yẹn so ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nígbà tí ara wa sì dá ṣákáṣáká yìí tí ara wa lé kókókó yìí ẹ wo mọ́mì wa Jane Fashakin ẹ wo bó ṣe jàjàngbara yìí wọ́n jà taratara wọ́n dẹ̀ tún wọ́n tún gbà wá nímọ̀ràn wípé ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ so ẹ̀yin àgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tẹ́ ń gbàbọ̀dé fún wa àwa mọ̀ o pé lágbára dẹ́dà ṣẹ̀dá ikú burúkú ni gbogbo yín máa kú o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kú síbi táṣọ yín wà ní ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tẹ́ torí pé ẹ̀ ń rí jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà tẹ́ dẹ̀ ń wo ogúnlọ́gọ̀ ènìyàn tí gbogbo wọn ń ṣègbè lójoojúmọ́ ṣùgbọ́n tí ò kàn yín tó yẹ pé ohun tẹ́ máa jẹ yẹn nìkan góòlù wa tẹ́ ń wà yẹn nìkan òun nìkan ló wà lójú yín gbogbo yín ẹ̀ ní kú síbi táṣọ yín wà o mo fi àyájọ́ ọjọ́ tòní tí à ń kẹ́dùn màmá wa Barrister Jane Fashakin mo fi gbà á ládùúrà fún gbogbo yín wípé ẹ ò ní kú síbi táṣọ yín wà lágbára Elédùmarè màmá wa Jane Fashakin màmá fọwọ́ rọrí kù màmá kúkú akọni òun náà ni gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ni tá a fi ń kẹ́dùn wọn tá a fi ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n ṣe nínú Yorùbá nation ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ò bá sólóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ mọ́ ṣé eléyìí tó fi agbádá lọ ń gba ẹ̀bà lọ ń gba gàrí lọ ń jẹ àṣàrò ní patí ṣóun ló fẹ́ kù fún wa ni kò ní sí gbogbo ẹ̀ máa die down ni kò ní sí ẹ̀dá àlàyé kan tó máa pariwo Yorùbá nation torí wọ́n á rí i pé olórí wọn ti lọ ta ló tún fẹ́ jáde gbogbo àwọn akọni pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ tí wọ́n gbójú jáde ńgbà yẹn nínú mélòó nínú wọn ló jáde lọ́jọ́ tòní ta ló fẹ́ kojú ogun kò sí wọ́n máa rò pé ọmọ ajẹ ìyàwó ajẹ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó máa dá sí òun olóyè ò gbogbo wọn yẹn olóyè ò tiẹ̀ wò bá ò láfẹ̀yìntì àbò lẹ́nìkan ó jáde síta ni gbogbo dúkìá rẹ̀ tó gbélẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n lọ́jọ́ tòní nǹkan ó di òrìṣà àkúnlẹ̀bọ tí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tá a mọ̀ọ́rẹ́ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tá anybody tẹ́ bá rí lẹ́yìn ọmọ Adéyẹmọ lónìí àwọn tó mọ̀ọ́rẹ́ nìyẹn tó mọ̀ pé ìjà ìran mi ló ń jà yìí wà arákùnrin tí wọ́n mọ̀ọ́rẹ́ ní o kì í ṣàwọn aláìmọ̀ọ́rẹ́ tí wọ́n tún tó yẹ kó dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ arákùnrin yìí pé kó túbọ̀ máa ṣe sí ṣe ni wọ́n ń kẹ́gun gbogbo yín ọ̀hún náà ní kú síbi táṣọ yín wà torí a mọ̀ pé ara ẹ̀yin ọ̀dàlẹ̀ tí ẹ ò fẹ́ kí ìran Yorùbá bọ́ lóko ẹrú ni gbogbo yín lẹ máa kú bí ajá ṣe ń kú tòótògbóró lágbára dẹ́dà ṣẹ̀dá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀ wá fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wá kọ̀ Olódùmarè á gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí fún wa torí mo mọ̀ pé màmá wa Jane Fashakin wọ́n ti gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ti gbé lọ ọ̀run láti lọ bá Jésù Kristi láti lè lọ bá sọ̀rọ̀ wípé kó yọ̀ǹda orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ní kòpẹ́kòpẹ́ kó yọ̀ǹda rẹ̀ fún wa èmi mọ̀ pé ìyá wa Barrister Jane Fashakin ó ti gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ó ti gbé tọ̀ Olódùmarè lọ ó ti gbé tọ̀ Olódùmarè lọ lágbára Elédùmarè pẹ̀lú ìrànlọ́wọ́ èmi àti rẹ pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ọwọ́ wa ilẹ̀ Yorùbá á bọ́ sí fún wa lágbára dẹ́dà ṣẹ̀dá ẹ ṣé o mo dúpẹ́ o ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi ẹ já máa gbọ́rọ̀ màmá wa Jane Fashakin lọ.
They are lucky that Nigeria is not like America where we have animal rights. They themselves would have been in trouble. And cats, because the fake herbalist told them that was Sunday Igboho. He told them he was in the ceiling. They broke all his ceilings. The person that was killed was shot 42 times. It was the Babalawo that told them to pound his head as if they are pounding yam, like pounded yam. Pound his head until they almost cut off the head. That was why shamelessly, and shame to you DSS of Nigeria, that you will be killing your citizens in Nigeria. They almost beheaded him. That was why they couldn't leave the dead body behind. They had to drag him in his pool of blood. Who orchestrated that? The Yorubas. Leadership in Yoruba land has never been this deplorable, because they even trace the attack on a certain Oba, although the Oba has come out to denounce that and said he didn't take money and he didn't participate in the coming to Sunday Igboho's house. But nevertheless, where you have good leaders, where you have a good governor, something like that will not go unaddressed in your land, especially when he came out to say that he was not aware that they were coming. Then after you now saw what they did, what did you do as a leader? I said leadership in Yoruba land has never been this deplorable. We have over time slept on our conscience and rights, and the net effect is the current ineptitude, lackadaisical attitude, selfishness of the people that we put at the helm of affairs. For as long as they have sufficiency of everything that they need, they could care less about who does not. The bamu bamu ni mo yo, emi o mo bi ebi npa omo elomiran is their watchword. Our enemies have price tags for our so-called leaders. And who does not know that he who pays the piper dictates the tune? Our leaders cannot speak up because they may be required to cough up what they have swallowed. It wasn't even this bad, even during the internecine intertribal wars that I earlier referenced. See the nature of our economy. Yoruba people are land cultivators, and our prosperity is largely due to our farm produce. What are we experiencing now because of leadership? Our enemies making sure that we are not able to farm and bringing their cows to destroy whatever we have grown. Where are our leaders? In total seclusion. You even have governors siding with these enemies and threatening anyone who may touch them with imprisonment. Let us compare leadership here, people. Apple for apple. Just this year, when these hard men complained that the Yoruba people were threatening them in Oyo area, 7 of their northern leaders came to meet with Governor Seyi Makinde to launch a complaint and to demand total safety of their men and compensations for their cows killed or injured. That I call that true leadership. Many of us will remember that the current Nigerian president, when he left power and he became a civilian like you and me, he once flew to Ibadan to meet with late Governor Lam Adesina over a fight between the locals and the herdsmen. Where are our own leaders today to speak up over the maiming, raping, extortion, farm damages, murders, and other provable open and notorious criminal acts against the Yoruba? And then we want to say that we are tough people in rough times. We are rough people in tough times. We are not getting much foreign help because Nigeria supposedly has a democratic government. We are our leaders to explain to them that the Yoruba people are living under a Gestapo-like government set to exterminate their ethnic group. The absence of a recognizable, respected, and deferred to leadership is leading the Yoruba people astray, making them susceptible to the rampaging flood of all manners of cooked up political alliances. If you ask some Yoruba why they voted for this man in power early in the year, they would tell you that it was because he had secretly promised to hand over the presidency to them in 2023. With Junaid Mohammed and Lawal Babacha recently telling the Yoruba to forget 2023, you begin to wonder whether a people who correctly articulate their destiny should be merchandising. The situation has never been this bad for Yoruba people. I say, no one has a cogent plan or roadmap for the development of the Yoruba nation as the people are thrown right, left, and center by children of those who kept the nation down through their wiles and deceptions over the decades. Rather, what Yoruba has is a set of opportunist children who muscle themselves into political offices and approximate this feat as the Yoruba nation's achievement and development. The way out is for the Yoruba to realize that their future is very bleak in this contraption called Nigeria.
Yes.
To come together and speak up about Yoruba self-determination and stop talking about alternatives because they still thinking they can be president. It's not going to happen, people. Open your eyes. Look out. Smell the coffee. It's not happening. Let us have our own land. Let our leaders come out as real leaders. The subsisting thesis in the public space today is that either due to the lack of awareness of what the leadership is doing, or that whatever it is about is enfolded by a cloud of politics. Yoruba have no leadership at the moment. Ali Mazuri has identified 5 types of leadership in Africa, namely the intimidatory, patriarchal, reconciliationist, mobilizational, and bureaucratic leadership. A sociologist, Gwyneth Wise, while conducting investigation into the sociology of representation, argued that a leader who will appropriate the leadership of a nation like the Yoruba must be an agent who acts on behalf of and who symbolizes the identity or qualities of a class of persons, a person who shares some of the characteristics of this class. Wise concluded that uniqueness and irreplaceability are the qualities normally associated with this representative whom he called the great individual. Leadership is about developing people and assisting others to get their full potential. It's not about leading. It is also about developing and helping others, equipping others with the right tools and strategies, not only to maximize the success of an organization, but also the lives of individuals. It is about breaking down barriers and leading others through the uncertainty of the future. Leadership is power, and power is responsibility. Leadership is not righteousness. It is not manipulative. It is not deceptive. It is honest. Leadership can be tough when things are tough. Leadership is the collective responsibilities of citizens, often repose on individuals and groups. Leadership resides in the people who in turn repose same in constituted authorities, especially on those they chose to lead them, like democracy. The people are those with the power to install and remove as it pleases them. Leadership is understanding the balance of power that exists between the people and the people being led. Leadership is putting the interests of the people first and not dictatorial or authoritarian. True leadership is sacrificial. It will stand for the people when it matters the most, even if it leads to death. Leadership is showing skills for crisis management, that is, conflict resolutions. Leadership is treating all equally without fear or favor. It is exercising prerogative of mercy when things go wrong. Let me emphasize that the best leaders don't only help their teams win championship or elections or make the organization to dominate the marketplace of politics or professional organizations. They also care deeply for the people. They show extreme understanding and appreciate the privilege to be a leader. It therefore goes to show that a plethora of qualities exist, which we must imbibe to become great leaders. As a leader, do you often call on others, see through their point of view, coerce them, neglect them, appreciate them, and ensuring it is his own will that prevails? Let me state that the best trait a leader must possess is a passion to develop and maximize the potential of others. When you transform individual members of your team, you begin to transform your team and organization because of development that will permeate. Transforming people is a quality most notable leaders in the world use all their lives to dwell on, because they understand that if they transform their people, they can advance their mission. I'm rounding up. Leaders that are caught up in egoistical satisfaction rather than development of their people may not achieve their set purpose in the long run. My dear compatriots, my fathers and my mothers, having said so much about leadership in my own little way, I call on our identified present leaders in Yoruba land, the leaders of self-determination groups, and even individuals to examine themselves. As a leader or follower, do you feel the temperature of leadership within the definition and duties I listed above? As followers, do you speak with and advise the leaders of your organization? See leadership. I'm sorry, please. To see leadership the way it should be. We must call on our leaders to account. They must show transparency and accountability in every aspect of their leadership. Events have shown that the Yoruba cannot rely on the sources of generating leadership from the political leaders as being presently paraded. This group, we have members from all the states and include youth representatives, traditional rulers, academics, unions, etc. And a system of electing Yoruba leaders will be developed. It is no longer fashionable for just a handful of people to come together to choose a leader for us. We want leaders, male and female, that have demonstrable resilience dynamism, activism, and other qualities that can develop us as individuals and as a race. Having said this, I want to admonish all of us to encourage ourselves to consciously seek unity among ourselves. Let us shun division. Let there be no, the person put in position is from Ijebu and I'm from Ekiti. Therefore, no matter the good quality the person has, we must pull him down. It's not helping us, people. It is not. We need leaders that we can all support. We are developing one, and that is why we are able to forge ahead with this Yoruba nation. But you will wonder, all those leaders that are supposed to be leaders, either as urbans, as governors, as community leaders, where are they? I was expecting that all of us would be on the street the day they came to Igbo's house. We in the diasporas, we tried our best. I was expecting that all the Yorubas all over the world, we will be out and speak up and allow people to see what the Fulani-dominated government of Buhari is doing to us. They are everywhere. If you think that we can do anything in this government and then you are asking for restructuring, you deceive yourself. They are the ones making laws in the house. They have the numbers. If they say they should go and execute everybody in Nigeria today and they put it to vote, they have the number. And we are going to be saying it is a democratic government because they have the number. They're going to vote and they're going to have the number required. Think about that. Think of the police department, who is at the top. Think of the military, who is at the top. Think of the custom, who is the lead, who is the master. Where do you have the universe? Anywhere. They are putting them in our forests. We can't say anything because we don't have the power.
Ṣé ẹ ṣá ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ìyá wa Barrister Fashakin? Ṣé ń gbọ́ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn? Ṣé ń gbọ́ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn? Fídíò tẹ́ ń wò yìí 2021 ni o, nígbà ayé Buhari. Ó ní àwọn wo ló wà ní top, ó láwọn Fúlàní ni. Ní ọlọ́pàá, bí mo ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, àìmọye DPO, CPO ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bẹ̀yẹn tó jẹ́ pé Fúlàní ni gbogbo wọn. Wọ́n sì ń bẹ o. Sọ pé Fúlàní ni wọ́n. Oyè ó ní nínú military, nínú iṣẹ́ nínú àwọn ológun, ó láwọn wo ló wà ní top. Àwọn Fúlàní náà ni. Àwọn tó jẹ́ Yorùbá tiwa tó wà ńbẹ̀, wọ́n ń kó wọn lọ ń pa fáwọn Boko Haram. Wọn ò ní kó irinṣẹ́ lé wọn lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n á dà wọ́n sí Sambisa. Wọ́n ń pa wọ́n. Wọ́n wá ń fi àwọn Fúlàní, wọ́n fi ń dí wọn. Torí wọ́n mọ̀ wípé ogun ń bọ̀. Tógun yẹn bá dé, wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ò lè dojú ìbọn kọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn Ìgbò ò ní dojú ìbọn kọ ilẹ̀ Ìgbò. Àwọn ni wọ́n fẹ́ da ojú ìbọn kọ. So fún díẹ̀ yìí, àwọn tó jẹ́ Ìgbò tó jẹ́ Yorùbá, Sambisa ni wọ́n ń kó wọn lọ tí wọn ò fún wọn ní irinṣẹ́. Tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ pé àwọn sójà wo ò ní irinṣẹ́, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wa ni wọ́n ń kó lọ ọbẹ̀ tí wọ́n lọ ń pa. Tó bá ti pa bí 100, then wọ́n á kó repentant Boko Haram, wọ́n á kó dípò 100 yẹn. Tó bá pa 50, wọ́n á kó repentant Boko Haram, wọ́n á kó wọn díbẹ̀, àbí àwọn ọmọ Fúlàní, wọ́n á kó wọn wọbẹ̀. So torí wọ́n mọ̀ pé ọjọ́ kan ń bọ̀, Nàìjíríà máa wọnú ogun lọ. Nàìjíríà máa ṣe kíni? Nàìjíríà máa wọnú ogun gidi, ó máa wọnú ogun lọ. So àwọn wo ló máa defend ilẹ̀ tiwọn? Àwọn eléyìí dẹ̀ máa fẹ́ defend ilẹ̀ wọn, wọ́n tún fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ mìíràn mọ́ tiwọn ni. Ó ti yé. So ó lè fi rí wọn tó ń recruit ara wọn sínú iṣẹ́ ológun púpọ̀ jù. Torí wọ́n mọ̀ pé wàrà tí ó yín ilẹ̀ wa ló wà. So ó lè fi rí wọn tí wọ́n fi ń pa àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa nínú oko tó ń fi fẹ́ jẹ́ ká lọ oko. So that ọjọ́ tí ogun yìí bá máa dé, wọ́n á lè conquer ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n á lè gba Yorùbá mọ́ ilẹ̀ tiwọn. Àwọn Fúlàní á pọ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wa tá a jí ọmọ onílẹ̀. Ó ti yé yín, wọ́n á wá lé wa sẹ́yìn odi pátápátá, wọ́n á lé wa sínú igbó agíjù. Wọ́n máa lé everybody sí. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé l'Amẹ́ríkà náà wọ́n láwọn Amẹ́ríkà kan náà ló nílẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí Amẹ́ríkà máa take over Amẹ́ríkà, àwọn tó ní ìlú gangan, wọ́n ní wọ́n kó wọn lọ sẹ́yìn odi, wọ́n káṣẹ́wó tì wọ́n, wọ́n gbé sìgá tì wọ́n, wọ́n kó ọtí tì wọ́n pé kó máa mú, so that ayé wọn á lè bàjẹ́. Wọn ò ní lè jà fún right wọn mọ́. Wọ́n ní léèdì báyìí gbogbo ìran àwọn tó ní Amẹ́ríkà gangan tó ṣe tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀dá Amẹ́ríkà, kò sí nínú wọn tó wà láyé mọ́. So bí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ ṣe wá ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà nìyẹn, tó bá ti tó àsìkò ogun yẹn wọ́n á ti rí pé ìwọ̀nba péréte ni àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà nù wa. So tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun yẹn wọ́n rí wípé àwọn tó ti wà, àwọn Fúlàní tó ti wà nínú iṣẹ́ ológun, wọ́n á lè tètè kọ́ńkà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá péréte tó kù yẹn, wọ́n á tètè pa wọ́n. Wọ́n á rí pé ẹ lọ wò lọ́jọ́ tòní o, Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nínú ológun ò tó nǹkan kan mọ́ o, ẹ lọ wò dáadáa o, Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nínú iṣẹ́ ológun ò tó nǹkan kan mọ́. Ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀rí Fúlàní DPO, ẹ̀rí Fúlàní CP, ẹ̀rí Fúlàní pé wọ́n bẹ dáadáa nínú iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá o. So wọ́n ti wọ ilẹ̀ wa dáadáa, àwa la tètè fura. So àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n dẹ̀dẹ̀ pé wọ́n yarí, tí wọ́n sọ pé kí nìyẹn, àwọn wèrè lídà wa wọ́n ti rí pé tí ogun bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn eléyìí kò sí ni wọ́n máa kọ́ńkà wa. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyá wa Fashakin ti sọ, ó ní àwọn ló pọ̀jù nínú iṣẹ́ ológun, àwọn ló pọ̀jù nínú iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá, and everywhere ni wọ́n wà. Lóòótọ́ ni o, láti 2021 dì sí ẹ̀yin náà ṣe wo kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o. So eléyìí ṣe àfihàn wípé tí ogun bá dé, tí Yorùbá ò bá múra, tá a bá fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀, ó ṣeéṣe kó gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ wa o. So ó la fi ń pe bàbá wa, la fi ń pe Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu pé kó tètè ṣe ohun tó wà òkè, tó dára fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kí wọ́n defend ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ bó ṣe máa pín ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí tí ò ní mogun lọ́wọ́. Torí pé bàbá Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu náà fún ara ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí máa pín lọ́jọ́ kan, ṣùgbọ́n tó bá máa pín ṣe ogun ló yẹ ká fi gbá ní. Torí tá bá ní ká fogun gbà á, àwọn ará bí pọ̀ jù wá lọ nínú ogun, ṣùgbọ́n àwa believe bó ti wù kán pọ̀ tó, ìgbà eṣiṣi ni wọn ò lè dìnà dó ọwọ́ wa ló máa padà pa gbogbo wọn, torí ohun tá a ní ojú tí wọn lọ. So I believe nìyẹn, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ẹ̀mí aláìṣẹ̀ gbogbo tó máa mú dání ńkọ́ tá a bá wọnú ogun lọ. So gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá mo bẹ̀ yín, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyá wa Fashakin ṣe sọ wípé ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀, ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ẹ dìde, ẹ bá wa bá Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ kó pín orílẹ̀-èdè yìí, kí gbogbo wa jókòó sí round table. Torí ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ pé ara òró ẹdìyẹ òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ń sìn. Àwọn wòlíì ń jáde lọ́tùn lọ́sì, wọ́n sọ wípé ogun ń bọ̀. Ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀dẹ̀ sì jókòó, tí ì pe àjọ tó nírònú wípé kẹ́ ẹ lè bá ọmọ yín tó ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ tẹ́ fi ilẹ̀kẹ̀ sí díẹ̀, kẹ́ ẹ lè bá sọ̀rọ̀. Torí pé tó ogun yìí bá dé, ó máa kó yín láya lọ, kó yín lọ́mọ lọ o. Lẹ́yìn gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà tẹ́ ẹ ṣe bí pé ẹ jókòó yìí, ìlú òyìnbó tẹ́ ẹ bá sá lọ gan, èmi inú yín ìlú òyìnbó ló máa kú sí, kò ní lè tẹ́ni tó máa wálé. Táwa tá a bá wà ńlẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ dá ogun yẹn sí lọ́rùn, tá a ja ogun yẹn, tá a jàjàngbara, tá a gbara wa sílẹ̀, ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ pé kò síbi tẹ́ máa rí dé sí o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá sá lọ lákòókò ogun yẹn, tẹ́ bá máa padà dé, a máa padà gé orí gbogbo yín náà ni, a máa padà pa yín nípakúpa ni tẹ́ bá padà dé. So ó bẹ́tà ń sìn kẹ́ ẹ fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwa tá à ń jẹ̀jàngbara, kí ẹ tètè fi ìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan ká lè jọ gba orílẹ̀-èdè yìí lásìkò. Torí ohun tí màmá wa Jade Fashakin sọ kó tó di pé wọ́n dágbére fáyé, ẹ wo bàbá yìí, ẹ rí i pé àgbà ọ̀jẹ̀ ni wọ́n nínú ọ̀mọ̀wé. So kírú màmá yìí pẹ̀lú position wọn jọlọ́lá, olówó ni wọ́n, ọlọ́lá ni wọ́n, oníyì ni wọ́n, ẹlẹ́yẹ ni wọ́n, kò sí nǹkan kan tó tún ṣì ń lé nínú ipò, ṣùgbọ́n màmá yìí dìde láti jàjàngbara fún ìran rẹ̀. Torí pé ìwé tó kà, ó fi òye ìwé yẹn gbé pé tí mi ò bá dìde lásìkò yìí láti jà fún ìran mi, ó máa lágbára lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la fún ìran àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń bọ̀. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé ọmọ ìyá wa Jade Fashakin kì í ṣe olóṣì o, olówó ọlọ́lá ni. Kódà mo tún gbọ́ pé Barrister ni ọmọ tí wọ́n bí lọ́mọ. So kẹ́ bá lè mọ̀ pé wọn ò ṣe olóṣì, wọn ò dẹ̀ kì í ṣe olùyà. So nínú ayé àwọn náà wọ́n rí ilé ayé gbé, wọ́n rí ilé ayé jẹ, wọ́n rí ilé ayé mu, wọ́n rí ilé ayé ná, wọ́n rí ilé ayé lò, wọ́n nájà yẹn dáadáa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ pé ilé ayé àwa nájà ni, ìyá wa Fashakin ná ọjà ilé ayé, ó tún jèrè, ó ná ọjà yìí ó jèrè, ó tún kú gan, gbogbo àgbáyé ló tún pohùn réré ẹ̀ pé ó ṣe lọ arábìnrin yìí. Kẹ́ bá lè mọ̀ pé ìyá yìí ò wálé ayé lásán, ó wálé ayé ó ṣe rere, ó wálé ayé ó tún jàjà fún ìran rẹ̀. So màmá yìí wá jókòó pẹ̀lú gbogbo òye àti ìmọ̀ tí Olódùmarè fún ìyá yìí, ó dìde, ó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jà pé ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ dìde, ẹ̀yin ọmọdé ẹ dìde, ẹ̀yin àgbà ẹ dìde, ẹ jájọ jàjàngbara yìí, ẹ jájọ bọ́ kúrò lóko ẹrú yìí. Àwọn pípù yìí tá a bá tètè gbara wa sílẹ̀, wọ́n ní nọ́mbà jù wá lọ, wọ́n ní gbogbo nǹkan jù wá lọ, wọ́n tó bá sọ pé ogun yá, wọ́n pọ̀ jù wá lọ nínú ọmọ ogun. So ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ọ̀rọ̀ màmá Fashakin mo fẹ́ lélẹ̀ tí wọ́n sọ mo fẹ́ kó jẹ́ kó jẹ́ message fún èmi àti yín láti rí pé no àkókò rèé láti pé kí èmi àti yín kájọ dìde ká lè jọ jàjàngbara kí ìran ọmọ wa ó lè kúrò lóko ẹrú. òun ni mo fi ṣàpèjúwe lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo ní tá a bá tètè dìde ìrìn àjò ọdún kan ó lè di 20 years ó lè di 30 years ó lè di 50 years mo wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin tí èjì yín rí bí eléyìí sìn tó 20 years pẹ̀lú èjì yín sìn ṣẹ́rí pé ti máa dàgbà ó ṣeṣe kẹ́ máa lágbára. mo ní èmi ọmọ yín àròlé bàbá tẹ́ntẹ́ yìí tí mo ń pariwo lójoojúmọ́ yìí mo ní 50 years pẹ̀lú èjì mi mo ló ṣe kó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin bíi 4-5 ló máa kù lẹ́yìn ara ti dára àgbà ara ti mi ò nílé lágbára láti fò mi ò nílé lágbára gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ṣe ìmọ̀ kí ló wá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ìran wa tó ń bọ̀. so ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ fi ọ̀rọ̀ màmá wa Fashakin yìí kẹ́ ẹ jòkó kẹ́ ẹ rò dáadáa kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan méjì tẹ́ fẹ́ rò kò ju wípé báwo ni ọjọ́ ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ mi ṣe máa rí tí mo bá dàgbà tí mo bá lọ tán báwo ló ṣe máa ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ti ń fojú rí ń sìn orí èèyàn ní ọjà ń sìn 10,000 naira gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe ń rí lórí ayélujára orí èèyàn ń sìn àti rẹ́ni tó yẹ pé ó gba 500 láti di èèyàn lẹ́sẹ̀ mú tí wọ́n fi pàdánù àwọn ọmọ wa ń sìn gbogbo wọn ti dolóṣó àwọn èèyàn gbogbo most of them wọ́n kú sínú inú òkun inú omi ńlá látàrí pé wọ́n fẹ́ cross sórílẹ̀-èdè mìíràn wọ́n di nǹkan àlejò wọ́n di nǹkan ìpanu fáwọn ẹja ibú. àìmọye àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ ní ìgbèkùn Libya àìmọye ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ ní ìgbèkùn ní Cairo àìmọye ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ nínú ìgbèkùn ní Italy káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè gbogbo ni ọmọ Yorùbá ń bẹ nínú ewu nínú àhámọ́ nínú ìgbèkùn ni gbogbo wọn wà látàrí wípé wọ́n fẹ́ survive wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ń lòdì sí àwọn ìlú tí wọ́n wà látàrí wípé àwọn náà fẹ́ tètè hustle wọ́n fẹ́ tètè make owó ẹlòmíì gò tiẹ̀ ṣe ohun tí ò tọ́ ẹlòmíì nǹkan tó tọ́ ló ń ṣe ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n kàn jẹ́ lọ́sí ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ parọ́ ọmọ wọn gbé ṣùgbọ́n tó bá yẹ pé ìlú ara wa ni láwà ṣé a lè máa sọra wa di nǹkan oúnjẹ fún ẹja inú ibú ni látàrí pé a fẹ́ cross sódì kejì ṣé a lè dẹni tí wọ́n fi sí ìgbèkùn ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kan ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Cairo ní ẹnu ọjọ́ bíi oṣù bíi mélòó kan sẹ́yìn tí èmi àròlé dá sí wọ́n ní àwọn ọmọ obìnrin wa tí wọ́n kó wọ́n ní ibi tó bá dúró sí báyìí ní nǹkan oṣù tí ń dé bá wọn ibẹ̀ náà ti máa menstruate ibẹ̀ náà ti láì ní páàdì láì lẹ́nìtì nǹkan àlejò á máa jò sí wọn lára nígbà tí àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó bá wà ń bẹ̀ tó bá fi pé ó wù wọn kán bóbìnrin ṣeré wọ́n á wo eléyìí tó dánú wọn wọ́n á mú lọ ẹ̀yìnkùlé wọn á lọ bá sùn wọ́n á ṣe bó ṣe wù wọ́n á tún dá padà síbẹ̀ torí pé Nàìjíríà àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ti di nǹkan àlejò fún gbogbo àgbáyé láti máa lò anyhow. ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin mọ́dà wa ẹ̀yin bàbá wa nílé àti lókè òkun a bẹ̀ yín gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀mọ̀wé wa ẹ bá wa fi ti màmá wa Professor màmá wa Fashakin mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ bá wa fi ṣe mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ bá wa lò ó kẹ́ ẹ bá wa fi ṣe àkọ́gbọ́n kẹ́ ẹ bá wa fi ṣe àwòkọ́ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀yin olówó torí màmá wa yìí wọ́n jẹ́ olówó wọ́n jẹ́ ọlọ́lá wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀mọ̀wé wọ́n jẹ́ gbajúmọ̀ láwùjọ ẹ̀yin gbajúmọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ dàbí ti màmá wa Fashakin mi ò ní fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ro gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí màmá wa sọ yìí kẹ́ máa wò pé màmá Fashakin mọ́mí woman yẹn stubborn jàre ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mi ò ní fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ wò bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀yin náà ẹ bá wa dìde bí màmá wa Fashakin ṣe dìde nítorí pé nígbà tí màmá yìí ṣubú lójú ìjàngbara Yorùbá nation yìí kò sí nǹkan méjì tí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ń rò bí kò ṣe pé ta ló tún fẹ́ dàbí rẹ̀ láàrin wa torí pé a mọ iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí arábìnrin yìí ṣe láàrin wa lára àwọn iṣẹ́ takuntakun tó ṣe yìí náà ni nǹkan tí mò ń fi wọ̀nyí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí lára àwọn iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n ṣe náà ni ohun tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ láti ẹ̀ẹ̀kan yìí lára àwọn iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n ṣe náà ni gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ti ń gbọ́ látàárọ̀ tí mo ti ń ṣò fún yín so ẹ̀yin olówó wa ẹ̀yin ọ̀tọ̀kùlú wa nílé àti lókè òkun ẹ dákun ẹ dábọ̀ ẹ bá wa fi ọ̀rọ̀ màmá wa yìí ẹ bá wa fi ṣe àwòkọ́ṣe ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé lóòótọ́ o màmá kú ni ṣùgbọ́n àwa náà tún dìde o gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọni láti tún jàjàngbara àbí láti tẹ̀síwájú àfẹ́rí yín o ọmọ màmá wa Fashakin Barrister Ọpẹ́yẹmí so mo ti gbàgbé orúkọ yẹn Barrister Ọpẹ́yẹmí Fashakin mo pè yín dádì mi ẹ̀yin náà ẹ bá wa dìde ẹ bá wa jàjàngbara yìí torí pé nígbà tí màmá lọ tí wọ́n ṣubú lójú ìjà mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo ní gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá là ń po òréré lápò òrèrè ẹkú pé ta ló tún lè dàbí màmá Fashakin, ta ló lo dúró sí position tí màmá Fashakin dúró sí fún wa. Òun náà ni mo ṣe pè yín Barrister Ọpẹ́yẹmí Fashakin, mo pè yín dádì mi, ẹ bá wa dìde, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ bá wa jà, ẹ bá wa dìde, gbogbo iṣẹ́ tí màmá wa ṣe kù yìí ẹ bá wa tẹ́wọ́ gbà á, kẹ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe Yorùbá nation, kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ ojú ẹ̀mí yín, tí mo dẹ̀ believe pé Olódùmarè máa fi àṣẹ sí. Ẹ jẹ́ fi tèmi ṣàpẹẹrẹ, èmi àrólé ọmọ bàbá tẹ́ntẹ́n Olúmọ ìkọba lọ́la JP, ìlú UK náà ni bàbá mi dágbére sí, ìyẹn bàbá tẹ́ntẹ́n ìlú UK ni wọ́n dágbére fún, ni wọ́n dágbére sí ní bí ọdún bíi mẹ́rin, ó ti dọ̀ bí ọdún bíi mẹ́rin sẹ́yìn báyìí ni wọ́n kú sí UK, ó dà pé ọdún kẹta àbí ọdún kẹrin yà. So ní àsìkò hello bàbá, hello bàbá, hello bàbá, hello bàbá, ẹ má bínú ìyá, ẹ má bínú, bàbá ẹ ní iná ni mo ti ní kó kúrò mi tó wà pé kó tún wá iná lọ síbòmíì, torí inú stúdíò ló ń lò, inú stúdíò ló ti ń rìkọ́ọ̀dù kíní yẹn. Ó máa ṣe ó dẹ̀ máa wà òkè, ó máa ṣe gbọ́, iná ló ẹmọ location 419 iná ni. mo ṣe máa kọ́lọ̀ ó bless mi, mo ṣe máa gẹ́ẹ̀tì generator fún ni, ṣe gbọ́. So iná yẹn ló ń disturb ẹ̀ nínú studio lọ́hùn. Ok, ó dáa, ẹ jẹ́ n tún pè ń sìn, ẹ jẹ́ n tún sáré pè. Ó dáa, ẹ jẹ́ kí n pè ń sìn again, ẹ jẹ́ n tún pè. All right. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo ń bọ̀, ẹ fún mi ìṣẹ́jú kan. Iṣẹ́ wa òun náà ni mò ń ṣe lọ́wọ́. Iṣẹ́ wa òun náà ni mò ń ṣe lọ́wọ́. Kí ló wá ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ akàròyìn? Wọ́n nídìí kíní kíákíá, kí ló ń dìlé oní iná nísìn? Ó ti wá ń pẹ́ jù akàròyìn, ó ti wá ń pẹ́ jù, iná ló fà lẹ́ẹ̀kan, bẹ̀tí náà ń ṣe báyìí, ó ti ń pẹ́ jù, wọ́n nídìí kíní yẹn the next 5 minutes ń sìn. Ó ti wá ń pẹ́ jù, ó ti ń lọ sí bí 1 hour báyìí. Nígbà tó kọ́kọ́ ṣe yẹn bí rògbò tó 30 minutes náà, eléyìí ti ń lọ sí 1 hour something sìn. Ẹ̀rọ tún pọ̀ ń bẹ̀. Ṣóṣà ti wà òkè, eléyìí tó fẹ́ send sí mi sí ṣó ti wà perfect. Ó yá ṣe kí á jàre èèyàn mi, odò àgbèwà. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú sí mi, mo ní lára àwọn iṣẹ́ wa tá a yàn láàyò náà ni, ẹ má bínú, odò àgbèwà kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè. So gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ lọ, ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi, ọmọ màmá wa Jade Fashakin, àwọn ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wípé kọ́wọ́ èmi náà, bàbá mi tẹ́ntẹ́ Olúmọ ìkọba lọ́la JP, ìlú UK ni màmá ni wọ́n ti ní bàbá ti fi ewé ọ̀fẹ́ gbéra lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ancestors wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo ní ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí bàbá papòdà tán, lèmi ọmọ náà, torí èmi máa ń follow dádì mi dáadáa ní orí Facebook, mo máa ń follow wọn dáadáa. Nígbà yẹn wọ́n máa ń ja ìjàngbara, wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa ń fi ìtara sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa ń ṣe, mo máa ń follow wọn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni èmi náà dẹ̀ rí pé etí dádì mi ń jà fún èyí tó dára ni, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ò tí ì láǹfààní láti pé káwa náà máa join nígbà yẹn lọ́hùn. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí bàbá tó papòdà tán ni mo wá wò pé iṣẹ́ tí dádì yìí ń ṣe yóò gbọ́dọ̀ lọlẹ̀. Èmi náà dẹ̀ gbé gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ní ni mo fi ń ṣe, mo fowó ń ṣe, mo fi gbogbo ẹ̀ ń ṣe, mo fagbára ń ṣe, gbogbo nǹkan ni mo fi ń ṣe. Mo tún ṣe débi pé gan kò jẹ́ kí ẹ jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ yẹn sí ẹgbẹ́ kan. So òun náà ni mo ṣe máa ń gbà ládùúrà ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ayé mi pé kí Olódùmarè kó jẹ́ kí n jẹ iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ mi nínú ìrìn àjò Yorùbá Nation, kó san fún mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń ṣe é. So èmi náà gbà mo ń ṣe é, mo dẹ̀ ṣe é títí dìsìn yìí, títí dìsìn tí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé lágbára Elédùmarè ibi tí bàbá tẹ́ntẹ́ òde ìyẹn orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, èmi ọmọ ẹ̀ adébẹ̀ lágbára dẹ́dà ṣẹ̀dá àti gbogbo àwa tí àjọ ń jàjàǹgbara yìí, gbogbo àná lájọ máa débẹ̀ tí ìṣe Yorùbá Nation máa ṣojú wa. Bàbá mi Barrister Ọpẹ́yẹmí, ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ bá wa dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation kí ẹ̀yin náà fi gbé iṣẹ́ tí màmá wa Barrister Janet Fashakin tí wọ́n gbé lẹ̀, ẹ bá wa gbé kí ọba mi Èdùmàrè kó dúró ti gbogbo wa. Ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi, ẹ jẹ́ kájọ fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ kájọ jàjàǹgbara yìí fún ìlọsíwájú orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Ẹ já tún gbọ́ nǹkan tí màmá wa Janet Fashakin sọ. Àwọn àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ dìde lásìkò kẹjájọ jàjàǹgbara yìí, ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ o.
They put guns in for us expecting that all of us will be on the street. The day they came to Igboho's house, we in the diasporas, we tried our best. I was expecting that all the Yorubas all over the world, we will be out and speak up and allow people to see what the Fulani-dominated government of Buhari is doing to us. They are everywhere. If you think that we can do anything in this government and then you are asking for restructuring, you deceive yourself. They are the ones making laws in the house. They have the numbers. If they say they should go and execute everybody in Nigeria today and they put it to vote, they have the number. And we are going to be saying it is a democratic government because they have the number. They're going to vote and they're going to have the number required. Think about that. Think of the police department, who is at the top. Think of the military, who is at the top. Think of the custom, who is the lead, who is the master, the boss there. Where do you have the Yorubas? Anywhere. They are putting them in our forests. We can't say anything because we don't have the power. They put guns in for their own little kids, top kids, the cow people, illiterate and literate, to be carried publicly. Yet they are going into the houses of even our retired military officers to go and be getting their guns so that we don't have nothing to fight them. Leadership vacuum is what we are suffering from. And I just pray that we will all reason, we will all wise up, we will all come together and speak with one voice, forget all this restructuring. What are you restructuring? Let's get our own land. I often say that Lord did not create Nigeria. The Lord created the Yorubas, He created the Fulanis, He created the Igbos and put them in their, everybody in their own land to survive there, to make a way there. The Lord did not create Nigeria. Lord Lugard did that for their own selfish interest, the selfish interest of the British. And by the grace of God, Nigeria is a tree that the Lord has not planted. And my Bible tells me that a tree that the Lord has not planted shall be uprooted. We will stand as Yoruba people. But for us to stand and stand secure, we need good leadership. And for us to have good leadership, we need cohesion. We need to shun eleyameya. We need to see ourselves as people with common goal, facing common faith, and determined that these Fulani people will not wipe us up. And by the grace of God, we will stand. In the name of God and in the name of Jesus. Thank you for having me. My name is Janet Fashakin. I live in New York and I work in New York. I'm a practicing attorney.
I will drop it for you.
Thank you.
Well done, Yawa. Ẹ ṣé gan ni Olúwa tún ti ń ṣe.
Okay, o ẹ ṣeun.
Ohun tó kàn ní orí ètò wa. Òun ni.
Right, sir.
1 second. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹni tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ mọ àwọn nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ access sí bàbá wa recorded program wọn tán ṣe fún wa tán fi endorse the directorate.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa nílé àti lókè òkun. ó wù ní ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu òun fa ọ̀nà fún yìí náà ni ò mà jẹ́ o ó wù wá kí màmá wa Fashakin ó pẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n Olódùmarè ló ń ṣe ohun gbogbo lẹ́yìn fídíò yìí ó tún ní fídíò kan tí mo fẹ́ fún yín mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ rí ipa pàtàkì tí màmá wa Fashakin kó nígbà tí Onítìrí tún jáde tó wá láti wá dàbàrú ohun tá a gbé lọ́wọ́ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ bí ìyá wa Fashakin ṣe react bí wọ́n ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ lórí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń lọ lórí àwọn nǹkan kan pẹ́pẹ̀pẹ́ tó bí tó fẹ́ dàbí tó fẹ́ da ìrìn àjò yẹn bákan mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ ohun tó sọ tí ìyá yìí sọ nípa ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà náà ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa mọ̀ wípé ìyá wa Fashakin wọ́n jẹ́ ènìyàn tó jẹ́ akíkanjú akọni takuntakun nínú ìjàngbara Yorùbá nation wa yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ farabalẹ̀ dáadáa mo máa sáré gbé yín débẹ̀ tí ẹ máa rí bí ìyá wa bí wọ́n ṣe tún sọ̀rọ̀ nínú fídíò wa yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi farabalẹ̀ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan tí ìyá wa Fashakin sọ lórí ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bí awuyewuye ìyá Onítìrí ń gbà yẹn lọ́hùn mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé ìyá wa yìí lẹni tó kọ́kọ́ tako Onítìrí ẹ lè máa gbọ́ lẹ́ni pé àwọn ọmọ ìyá Onítìrí kan jáde torí a gbọ́ dáadáa tán nínú pílátífọ̀mù wọn wọ́n ń jó wọ́n ń yọ̀ pé ìkan gbòógì nínú wọn ti lọ pé àwa tá a kù náà pé àwọn náà wíṣì wa bẹ́yẹn tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé lágbára Elédùmarè bí wọ́n ṣe fẹnu sọ yẹn ìrandíran ọmọ wọn àti ìrandíran ọmọ wọn àwọn ni wọ́n máa ṣẹ́kù ní kékeré tí Olódùmarè máa sọ di àṣẹ ó máa yí padà ó máa jẹ́ káwa dàgbà dògbò ó máa wá yí padà lé wọn lórí nítorí pé wọ́n yọ ẹni ire tó lọ yìí látàrí iṣẹ́ takuntakun ṣá pé àwọn wá láti wá dàbàrú ẹ̀ ni láti wá make sure pé àwọn fọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ lójú tí eku òkè bí eku tí ẹyẹ òkè bí ẹyẹ tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ kí olóyè Ìgbòho kó ti ìka àbámọ̀ bọnu pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí òwe tí àwọn àgbà àyà kan máa ń pa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ní Yorùbá ò ṣe é nunu fún tọ́ ní Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún tọ́ ní tí ẹni tó bá jà fún Yorùbá pé irú wọn ni wọ́n fi máa ń gúnṣẹ́ irú wọn ni wọ́n máa ń tìwọ́ kòtò bí òwe burúkú tí àwọn bàbá òfò wọ̀nyẹn máa ń pa nígbà ayé wọn lọ́hùn pé máa jó mò ń wẹ̀yìn rẹ Yorùbá so Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún that means wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ máa wo Yorùbá kí Yorùbá máa kú lọ wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ jà fún ṣùgbọ́n olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní ọjọ́ tí wọ́n interview bàbá lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí bàbá jáde ní Benin Republic wọ́n béèrè wọ́n ní ǹjẹ́ Yorùbá ṣe é jà fún bí bàbá ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí Yorùbá ò bá ṣe é jà fún mi ò ní dìde torí pé wọ́n pa ìran mi mo gbọ́dọ̀ jà fún Yorùbá wọ́n tún béèrè lọ́wọ́ olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ wọ́n ní ǹjẹ́ regret pé ẹ jà fún Yorùbá olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ tún dáhùn ó ní láyéláyé òun ò regret o pé òun jà fún ìran òun ò regret láyé òun ò dẹ̀ lè ever regret ó dẹ̀ tún sọ̀rọ̀ síwájú ó ní number one ó ní ẹnikẹ́ni kọ́ ló rán òun níṣẹ́ ó ní kódà Yorùbá kọ́ ló rán òun níṣẹ́ ó ní Yorùbá ò gbéṣẹ́ rán òun ṣùgbọ́n òun rí ní ìrí wípé wọ́n pa ìran òun Fúlàní pa ìran òun dẹ̀ ní láti dìde láti lè jà fún ìran òun láti pé kí Fúlàní má máa pa wá mọ́ so pé ẹnikẹ́ni ò rán òun ṣẹ́ o bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀rẹ̀ òun ò regret pé òun jà fún Yorùbá ṣẹ́yìn náà ti rí bẹ́yẹn so ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa rí àwọn ọmọ àlè kan tí wọn ò ní nǹkan ṣe tí wọ́n sọ ọ̀rọ̀ pé Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún máa jó lọ mò ń wẹ̀yìn ẹni Yorùbá àti rí brọ́dà àwọn ọmọ Nupe aláṣọ funfun tó fi aṣọ funfun lọ ń jẹ tó lọ fi ń jẹun ní patí ẹni tí wọ́n gbé awọ ẹkùn sí lọ́rùn tá à ń believe pé bí ẹkùn ló ṣe máa ṣe ṣùgbọ́n tá à mọ̀ wípé kódà ewúrẹ́ bá wọlé ẹkùn tiẹ̀ gan ewúrẹ́ tún máa gbá bọ́ọ̀lù lórí ẹkùn arákùnrin yìí ni tí ewúrẹ́ á tún máa fi ẹkùn ẹ̀ ṣeré níbi tí ó ya òjò dé so gbogbo àwọn òwe yìí ni arákùnrin yìí máa ń pa ó ti parí tá a rí i pé máa jómi lọ mú wẹ̀yìn ẹni Yorùbá pé Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó ní Yorùbá ṣe é jà fún nítorí pé wọ́n pa Yorùbá lòun ṣe dìde so ẹ ti rí pé ọmọ akọ ó yàtọ̀ sọ́mọ àlè dẹ̀rẹ́ ó yàtọ̀ sí ọmọ ọkọ. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ rí ìyá wa Fashakin wípé ọmọ ọkọ ni wọ́n. Nígbà tí ojú ogun le tí Onítìrí wá láti wá dabarú ṣe pé Onítìrí iṣẹ́ tá a gbélé lọ́wọ́ náà ni láti forfeit anything tó bá ní ṣe pẹ̀lú benefit Yorùbá, tó bá ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn ọmọ Yorùbá, iṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ ní láti wá da gbogbo ẹ̀rú. Iṣẹ́ tó yàn láàyò nìyẹn. Wọ́n ló ṣe iṣẹ́ yìí náà nígbà ayé Frederick Fashakin tí wọ́n fi bà OPC Frederick Fashakin jẹ́, tó fi support aláṣọ funfun, aláṣọ epo tó ń wọ̀ kiri, tó fi aṣọ funfun ẹ̀ ń jẹun ní pátí kiri, tó fi náwó fún àwọn olórin tí Fúlàní dẹ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ tí Fúlàní ń pa wá lójoojúmọ́ nínú igbó, tó ní Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún, Yorùbá ò ṣe é nunu fún, máa jó lọ mò ń wẹ̀ yẹn ni ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá tó torí rẹ̀ fi agbádá ẹkùn rẹ̀ tó fi ń jẹun kiri pátí. Now lẹ́yìn náà ẹ rí i pé olóyè Ọba Adéyẹmọ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé akọni òun náà ni ìyá wa Barrister Olusola, mọ́mì wa Jade Fashakin, akọni obìnrin ni wọ́n. Gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe ń sọ lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, mo ní àwọn aráabí yìí wọ́n kẹ́gàn Yorùbá débi pé wọ́n kórìíra Yorùbá débi pé wọn ò fẹ́ jà fún Yorùbá, ṣùgbọ́n olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ dìde, ìyá Fashakin náà dẹ̀ dìde láti jà fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá wa yìí. Nígbà tí ojú ogun le tí arábìnrin tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ yìí, ìyẹn aṣẹ́wó bàbá wa, dóná bàbá lè má rí láṣẹ́wó ńgbà yẹn, ṣùgbọ́n àwárí nísìn bí aṣẹ́wó, torí pé àwọn kan tiẹ̀ ń sọ wípé Onítìrí kì í ṣe ìyàwó Abíọ́lá, pé ṣùgbọ́n ó dẹ̀ pé Abíọ́lá bá ṣeré díẹ̀ nígbà tí bàbá wà láyé ni ó torí ẹ̀ ń claim pé ìyàwó lòun jẹ́. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, mo ní arábìnrin náà wọn ló ṣe nígbà Fashakin tí wọ́n dojú ìjọba Fashakin bolẹ̀ nínú OPC kó tó di pé alágbádá epo tóun náà fi di pé ó dalẹ̀ lọ kó àwọn ọmọ ogun mìíràn jọ. Dóòná lọ́jọ́ tòní náà wọ́n ní ẹni bá dalẹ̀ balabàlá náà ló ń rí. A ò mọ̀ wọ́n, gbogbo wọn a ò mọ̀ wọ́n sí jagunjagun ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, a ò kà wọ́n kún, a ò tiẹ̀ rí wọn, nítorí pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń fọ́lò aláṣọ epo yìí, gbogbo wa náà la rí nírìí wípé wọn ò jà fún ọmọ Yorùbá, torí pé wọ́n pa wá lógúnlógún, wọ́n pa wá lọ́gbọ̀nlọ́gbọ̀n. A ò rí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ kankan tí a tiẹ̀ lè dọ́ka sí pé ó dìde ó jà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. So fún díẹ̀ yìí, arábìnrin yìí nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ aburú rẹ̀, màmá wa yìí wọ́n jáde, àwọn ní ẹni àkọ́kọ́ tó kọ́kọ́ takò arábìnrin yìí pé ìwọ obìnrin o tún gbèsè ẹ̀ dénú Yorùbá nation, wọ́n tún rán ẹ níṣẹ́ o dẹ̀ jẹ́ iṣẹ́ yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n màmá yìí ló tú àṣírí arábìnrin yìí, òun ló tú àṣírí ẹ̀. Ẹ já gbọ́ nǹkan tí màmá wa Jade Fashakin sọ nípa arábìnrin yìí. Ẹ já gbọ́ akọni obìnrin, mọ́mì wa sùnre o.
Orúkọ mi ni Jade Fashakin, amòfin ni mí nílùú Amẹ́ríkà, and bí iṣẹ́ tèmi ṣe lọ, àwa ò kì í sátẹ̀lé èrò, àwa máa ń wo nǹkan pẹ̀lú ojú sùnùkùn. Wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ sùnùkùn ojú sùnùkùn ni wọ́n fi ń wò. Àti gba ilẹ̀ wa kì í ṣe ohun tí ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀, àti the yearning to take our land kì í ṣe ohun tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lénìí. Àwọn bàbá wa kan tí wọ́n ti kọjá lọ, wọ́n ti wà lórí ẹ̀ tipẹ́tipẹ́, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń tó bọ̀. Wọ́n ní asúré tètè kò ní kọjá ilé, arìngbẹ̀rẹ̀ kan kò dẹ̀ ní kọjá ọ̀nà. Ìrànjẹ yìí ó pọ̀ jù, mo la fi sọ wípé a fẹ́ ilẹ̀ tiwa. Àwọn bàbá wa, ìyá wa wọ́n dẹ̀ ń bá wa tó bọ̀ títí tó fi di ọdún tó kọjá yìí. Ṣàdédé ni ọmọbìnrin kan dé, wọ́n ní òun ni ìyàwó Abíọ́lá. Ọdún gbà tá a yẹ ìwé wò, tó bá jẹ́ ìyàwó Abíọ́lá bóyá wọ́n á jẹ́ bí nọ́mbà 18 bẹ́ẹ̀, torí a níwèé yẹn lọ́wọ́ àná. So àdẹ̀rí wípé even àwọn ọmọ náà tán claim náà pé DNA náà kò ṣe déédéé ńbẹ̀, gbogbo wọn yẹn la rí.
Ó ga o.
Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí àwọn èèyàn bá ń wá nǹkan,
ṣẹ́rí
bí ẹni tó ń drown, tó bá rí náà máa dì mú.
Ìyá wa.
Torí mo rántí ìgbà tá a lọ ṣe rally United Nations, mo wà lára àwọn tó lead rally yẹn. Ohun tá à ń béèrè nígbà yẹn was referendum. Àwọn ninas wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ bí aṣáájú láti lọ ṣe rally yẹn. Ìgbà tó yá, a kúrò lábẹ́ ninas. Ohun tí èmi ò mọ̀ nígbà yẹn ni wípé ọmọbìnrin yìí ti dé, òun ló wá ń ṣe àdarí. Mo rò pé ó dé towótowó àbí whatever tó gbé dé tó fi ń bàǹbúzù àwọn èèyàn, kò yé mi. Bó ṣe dé nìyẹn tí gbogbo nǹkan yí padà, ó ti ẹ̀fẹ́ rìn mí sójú. toró mọ̀ pé àwa máa àti rí kùlẹ̀kùlẹ̀ gbogbo ibi tó ń bọ̀ kò sí nǹkan kan lábẹ́ ọ̀run mọ́ kò sí nǹkan kan tó tuntun ìgbà tó dé irọ́ ńlá kan ló tiẹ̀ gbé dé ó lóun ṣe nǹkan kan ní House of Lords ní UK ó ní mo lọ síbẹ̀ òun lémi ni mo yí dànù bó bá tiẹ̀ sọ pé White House níbi tí èmi ń gbé l'Amẹ́ríkà màá tiẹ̀ gbọ́ yẹn ó tún yáwó láwọn kan ní Tinubu àti Òṣínbàjò ní wọ́n ń jà ó ní èmi ni ó lémi ni mo lọ síbẹ̀ tí mo lọ take over so gbogbo oríṣiríṣi yẹn òun ni ó ń lọ ní àsìkò gbogbo wọ̀nyí gbogbo oríṣiríṣi yẹn ló ń lọ irọ́ lóríṣiríṣi irọ́ bàbàbà ó wá kó àwọn èèyàn sọ̀dí ó wọ inú ẹgbẹ́ yẹn ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní divide yẹn in fact as we speak ó dá ẹgbẹ́ sí mẹ́rin kókó mẹ́ta lọ ó wọ àárín àwọn mídíà ó dá wọn ó àwọn mídíà tó jẹ́ pé bí ń pa àwọn arígbépa mídíà àwọn iye tó fún wọn wọ́n ń sá láìláìláì tẹ̀lé èébú èpè gbogbo ẹ̀ náà fi ń ṣayé ẹni tó bá mọ̀ pé bá bí wọ́n léèrè ọ̀rọ̀ èpè ńláńlá ni wọ́n máa gbé èpè yẹn báyìí òun wá ń ja gbogbo wọn báyìí òun ló ń jà wọ́n yìí gbogbo ìgbésí ayé wọn báyìí gbogbo ẹ̀ kàn dorí kodò òun gbọ́ kan báyìí tó ń sunkún pé wọ́n ní kó mú 300,000 wá èyí tó wà níbi tó ń wà ó wà ń bẹ̀ èyí tó ń ṣàìsàn èyí tó ń ṣe mo gbàdúrà fún yín kọ́lọ́run kó dáríjì yín torí gbogbo ìwà jágajàga ìwà tí ò kì í ṣèwà ọmọlúwàbí òun ló wá sọ́fèsì wọn máa sọ pé àwọn á tẹ̀ sójú àwọn àgbàlagbà wọn á bú àgbàlagbà mò ń wo ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá rí bó ṣe ń bú bàbá àgbàlagbà tó ju bàbá ẹ̀ lọ ọbẹ̀ tó lójú tiwọn nǹkan tó dára náà ń ṣe nígbà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá ti dorí kodò nígbà ẹ̀ bá wá ẹni tẹ́ máa gbé oyè fún tí ẹ gbélé ambassador mo ń record ẹ má wọlé wá bí gbogbo ẹ ṣe rí tó ṣàrí rádúrádú gbogbo ẹ wọn ṣáà wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ìdàrú wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ìdá gbogbo ẹ gbogbo ìgbà yẹn náà gbogbo ìgbà kan tó dé yẹn tí à ń sọ ni pé Yorùbá nation ló a fẹ́ and there is no going back Yorùbá nation no going back báwọn ṣe dé nìyẹn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation now Yorùbá nation now ó di láìláìláì ó di gbìrìgbìrìgbìrì ó di pé wọ́n gbé ní òmìnira 2022 àṣà àwọn wò tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ wọn á ní kábítí wọn tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ wọn á ní ta ló rán wa àwa olóṣèlú àwa ọ̀dàlẹ̀ àwa akínní kan àwọn mídíà wèrè tán tẹ̀lé wọn náà wọ́n máa ya ojú èèyàn wọ́n máa kọ̀kọ́ púpọ̀ sí wọ́n máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ èmi mọ̀ wípé it's a question of time eléyìí gan tó fẹ́ burú ju Nàìjíríà bí tá a ti ń bọ̀ lọ àwọn tán láwọn làwọn máa bá wa gbà yìí ó dẹ̀ convince àwọn olórí wa but èmi rí very very quickly somebody actually informed me and said iṣẹ́ tán náà wọn ni pé wọ́n gbé àwọn bàbá wọn yìí mọ́ra títí tó fi máa tó àkókò election wọ́n wá gbé wọn jùlẹ̀ wọ́n wá máa direct àwọn èèyàn láti sọ wípé ó yá ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá nation jáde so that àwọn èèyàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa sọ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa bú àwọn olórí yẹn wọ́n á discredit wọn wọ́n á turn wọn against each other wọ́n á máa ṣe gbogbo ibẹ̀ ládé yìí o ẹ̀rí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wọ̀nyí wọ́n ṣe ń bú àwọn bàbá tó ń bú Sunday Igboho ẹni ẹlẹ́ni tó forí lakú tó ń bú gbogbo àwọn tó jó olórí nínú ìjàngbara yìí àwa ṣàkàn dúró àwa ń wòran ni àwa ṣàkàn dúró àkàn ń wòran ni wọ́n á tún sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà míì wọ́n á ta bá mi torí mi tajà nù ẹni tó rájà ẹ̀ bá ti dòkúta nínú wọn tó bá ti wá nǹkan tó máa ṣe tí ò rí wọ́n á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo Janet Fashakin èmi ò mind I don't mind torí ariwo òkè pọjọ yóò dẹ̀ kí n poṣù iṣẹ́ ariwo lèmi dẹ̀ ń ṣe tó bá ṣe ń kiri yẹn lówó ń wọlé fèmí tó ó gùn ẹ máa pariwo ẹ máa ṣe lọ ẹ ṣe gan ni free of charge I love it ìgbà tó yá lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe wèrè káàkiri ilẹ̀ ìkan wà bí ó máa ń gbó bí ajá wọn ń pè ní kinní kan Èkó a máa trekking ó máa dá sí ìdìbò àwọn kan a máa ṣe ìyá àwọn tó ń fáwọn lóúnjẹ ìyá àwọn tí ò jẹ́ kébi pa wọ́n kinní kan èmi ò kúkú mọ̀ pé ìyà jẹ àwọn ènìyàn tó yẹn àwọn tó tún wà lábúròdù nínú abẹ́rẹ́ rí nǹkan báyìí tí wọ́n wájà wọn ṣe ìyá bàbá àwọn Abíọ́lá wọn á wò pé even Abíọ́lá tó ń sọ yìí gan ibi tó bá ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá dé ibẹ̀ ló wà yá kì í ṣe ọmọdé I'm well in my 60s mi ò kì í ṣe ọmọdé gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyí la mọ̀ èmi fúnra mi gan ilé olóṣèlú ni mo ti wá èmi náà dẹ̀ gbégbá ìbò ó wù mí láti ṣe Yorùbá nation láti wí pé ká tiẹ̀ gbágbára wa gbà lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà because of ìyà tó fi ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn wa because of àjùlọ tí wọ́n fi hàn àwọn èèyàn wa tó gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyí làwa náà mọ̀ láti rí àkànṣe ọmọdé àti dé ilé ayé yìí náà ó tó ọjọ́ mẹ́ta láàdẹ̀ ń follow news láti kékeré wa lọ láti gba rédíò Rediffusion àwọn tó bá mọ rédíò yẹn rédíò tẹ máa ní ìdíkẹ́ musia ẹ máa lọ gbé tí sí láti gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ ibẹ̀ yẹn láti gbọ́ rédíò lọ tó a kì í ṣọmọdé gbogbo ìwọ ní ẹja ẹwẹ ẹ tiẹ
1964 65 ogun 1967 66 67 títí di kìíní ọmọléèwé làwọn àgbà yẹn kì í ṣe pé wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bí wa a kì í ṣe ọmọ àgbékọ́rùn ọmọ bọ́n ṣe ń operate. So gbogbo kinní wọ̀nyẹn wọ́n ti set ara wọn tẹ́ bá ní fórùmù báyìí wọ́n á ti kóra wọn síbẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti sọ kinní ìyá wọn yẹn náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bú ẹ náà máa halẹ̀ mọ́ ẹ náà máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n rò pé wèrè ló ń sórí àwọn eléyìí orí yín máa tó gbálẹ̀ ìgbà tó bá dojú alẹ́ oníbúrẹ́dì ọmọ kò ti di méjì ìpín gbogbo tó ń bá wọn yìí báyìí tó wá ń ṣe bí ẹni tó ń da wèrè pé káàkiri báyìí tó ń sínwé kiri because of disappointment that they don't want to face. Wípé chief of staff country ìwèrè tó fẹ́ lọ. Àwọn ní chief of army staff wọ́n ti ní tẹ́rìmù. Wọ́n ti lẹ́nìkan tó ló wà ní Japan tó ń gbówó ńláńlá fún wọn. Ó ti ra káà fún wọn, ó ti kọ́lé fún wọn, ó ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Àṣẹ nǹkan tó ń fà á nìyẹn. Wọ́n ti ra pò, wọ́n ti ra gbogbo ẹ̀. Wọ́n rò pé kí ló wá yàtọ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà tá a ti ń bọ̀ ẹjọ́ ènìyàn. Ẹjọ́ ẹ dá mi lóhùn. Kí ló yàtọ̀ nígbà tá a ti fowó ra gbogbo ipò tá a ti fowó ra gbogbo nǹkan. Àwọn tí ò bá dẹ̀ wá ṣe tiwa tí ò jẹ́ tí ò rí bíi tiwa a fẹ́ rọ̀nù wọn dáhùn a fẹ́ pa wọ́n a fẹ́ destroy wọn ẹ dákun kí ni Nàìjíríà wá ṣe o tá a fi sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò nínú 100 countries ìgbà kan ó ní kán lọ máa ṣe petition tó bá ti lè rí petition 5 million referendum nìyẹn à need referendum mọ́ wọ́n kàn dé máa gbé United Nations wọ́n kàn dé flag wa báyìí yóò bá máa fẹ́ lẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò máa fẹ́ èèyàn lẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò máa fẹ́ àsíá o Yorùbá nation lẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò máa fẹ́ United Nations bá wà o wọ́n ní May United Nations wà o wọ́n lọ wọ́n á tún sọ pé àwọn èèyàn ń sá káàkiri fún 5 million yẹn pé ká lè gbà ká lè ṣe tó bá jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe máa ń rí àwọn countries àgbáńlá ayé yìí wọ́n á ti oníkálukú á ti pín àti kò ní sógun kò ní sọ̀tẹ̀ à ń sọ pé kí nǹkan kan ò kì í rí bí eléyìí àbàtìlá ó ti gbowó Tinubu ó ti gbowó olóṣèlú ni o ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ni o àdẹ̀wà àfàsẹ́yìn àwọn èmi ò bá yàn kankan sáyìn petition torí mo rò pé rọ́ ló wà mẹ́ èmi ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ kéèyàn kan gbé data tèmi lọ torí ṣé ẹ rí mi ò ní Amẹ́ríkà tí mo wà mi ò ní ìyá ń bẹ mi ò ní bàbá mi ò bá wọn kú gbogbo ohun tẹ́ ń wò tọ́lọ́run ṣe yìí by dint of hard work ni èmi ò wá lè jẹ́ pé ẹnìkan tó jẹ́ pé the only qualification tá a mọ̀ mọ́ ni wípé ó jẹ́ ìyàwó Abíọ́lá àdè tí wọ́n gbọ́n sí pé wọn kì í ṣe ìyàwó Abíọ́lá ẹ̀ ti gbọ́ woman tó lóun bá Dóyin àbọ̀ abá ṣiṣẹ́ tó sọ gédégbé so but everybody náà ló ń wá níbi tó máa fara kọ́ mo fẹ́ sọ fún àwọn olórí wa tí èmi rò wípé wọn ò ṣe dáa tó òun ni ànìtàngbé. We have so many warlords. I call them warlords or maybe self-determination lords or the leaders of various caucus. And I'm not talking of like YSDM to get leaders city caucus city why not. Caucus city why ye ni caucus Chief Sunday, Chief Dr. Sunday Adeyemo Igboho as the Olori Ogun and Baba Akintoye as the overall leader. Baba Adeniran as the assistant to him. We have over 14 other caucuses like that who are also looking for the freedom of the Yorubas. So nígbà tó bá wá jẹ́ àwa nìkan la wá gbà tá a gbà through àwọn wèrè tán ṣe wèrè káàkiri wọ̀nyí tán bugi jẹ́kiri tó bá jẹ́ through wọn la ṣe wá gbà ṣé àwọn caucuses bíi mẹ́rìnlá tó kù tán ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí lọ ṣáwọn yẹn máa wá dúró àwa máa lọ́ọ̀dù ẹ̀ lé wọn lórí ni adé ìrọ̀gbọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí àwa máa yan oyè fún wọn ni ṣáde ìrọ̀gbọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ohun tí mo wá fẹ́ sọ fáwọn olórí wa tí mo sọ pé mistake tán ṣe ni believing this woman tán wá rò wípé àwọn lè cut gbogbo àwọn tó kù off táwọn nìkan gba Yorùbá nation nísìnyí báyìí I believe that they are back to ẹsẹ̀ ibi tó yẹ kán wà east ló yẹ kán lọ ó kọrí wọn sí west tó má bàa débi tán lọ láíláí ṣùgbọ́n ó bà ní kò bàjẹ́ you have to come back to the drawing table ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tẹ́ ń sọ pé what next is for all these warlords. I call them warlords. Ojú ojú ogun la wà. Àwọn Fúlàní ti kó ogun dé. Ìgbà tó ti surround wa yẹn lógun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ siege ni wọ́n ń pè yẹn. Ìgbà tó ti má jẹ́ káwọn àgbẹ̀ wa lọ sóko in order to starve us lógun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìgbà tó ti jẹ́ pé àwọn náà wá ń supply wa ní tomato, wọ́n ń supply wa láta ní nǹkan tó ń gbìn lẹ́yìn ìpínlẹ̀ wa normally. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ táwọn jẹ́ ká lọ ṣe ìgbà yẹn lógun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìgbà náà ti lè jẹ́ ká travel freely on the road. Láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n bá gbé yín pa kán gba ransom. Tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì dẹ̀ ṣe bí ẹni pé ọwọ́ wọn rọ ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n lè lé àwọn ọmọ yahoo wa mú. Wọ́n lè fi fóònù trace wọn bẹ̀ tí wọ́n lè fi trace tara tiwọn. So all these people say kò gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Don't get leaders. I call them the warlords. People like Iba Gani Adams. He's a warlord in his own caucus, just like Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. He's a warlord in the caucus. That's why. people like Victor Taiwo is a warlord.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
The OPC leaders, OPC oríṣi mẹ́ta ló wà tó dẹ̀ ní leaders tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé àwọn náà wà lára àwọn tó ti ń to kíní ìbọn. The Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà star ti mọ̀ tipẹ́ mo júbà gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá mi tí mo ń dárúkọ yìí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Mo kéré láti dárúkọ yín, mi ò dẹ̀ tún kéré torí gbogbo kíní wọ̀nyí náà ó ṣojú wa. Ẹ dẹ̀ kú iṣẹ́, mo kí yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bọ ọmọ jẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ give up tẹ́ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń ja ìjàngbara yìí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
The Ọlọ́dẹ̀s mo salute yín.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Mo túwálé yín nígbà ẹgbẹ̀ẹ́dọ́gbọ̀n gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá mi tí mò ń dárúkọ yìí. The Àmọ̀tẹ́kùns náà tiẹ̀ kó jọ lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí gan pàápàá. Àwọn náà ní leaders. All these people have leaders. There are like about 15 of them. Wọ́ọ̀nù làwa jẹ́. So láti máa sọ wípé bóyá ìgàgà ọwọ̀ kan ó lè gbálẹ̀ mọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká tú sọnù.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Bó bá tún lọ́kùnrin míì tó dé kó má jẹ́ obìnrin, àbámọ̀ Aphrodite kan tó bá dé tó gbórí ọkùnrin sórí tó gbé ti obìnrin sí abẹ́. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká yára wa ní sense. Mo ti sọ náà, ẹ jẹ́ ká yára wa ní sense.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Agége ọwọ́ kan kò lè gbé ẹrù dúró.
Káre o màmá,
Má jẹ́ ká tanra
káre
wa.
o màmá o.
You, our leaders,
Káre o màmá.
you have to come together. Tó bá jẹ́ pé gbogbo wa come together ni pẹ̀lú iye ọmọ ogun tó ní kálukú yín ní tèmi náà dẹ̀ tí mo rí glimpse ẹ̀ a little bit. Wọ́n bí bàbá ńlá Fúlàní.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n bí bàbá ńlá Buhari.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Láti sọ pé òun fẹ́ stop wa.
Ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀.
Bí wọ́n fi wá ṣẹlẹ́yà. Wọ́n wo bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹyọkan táwọn lé kúrò ní Nàìjíríà bó ṣe máa jó láwá gba Yorùbá nation.
Olóyè alá.
Àwọn tó dúró Nàìjíríà gan wọn lè gbà. Aláìkè orin yẹn. Ó ní ìrítẹ́rígún lẹ́fí ń tàgún lọ́fà. Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ àwọn bàbá wa pé wọ́n wà desperate láti gba kínní. Òun lẹ fi kó sí wọn lábẹ́. Òun lẹ fi dá gbogbo nǹkan rú. Òun náà fi ń pè yín sìn báyìí. God bless Awíkóńkó. Dagboru, ó ní Dagboru of Yorùbá nation. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò rí Yorùbá nation dàrú. Yorùbá nation máa ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lákọ̀tún bó ṣe yẹ kó jẹ́. Àwa lè tètè débi tí à ń lọ. Ẹ̀yin olórí wa. You got to come together. You got to swallow your pride. You want to swallow selfishness. Èmi ni mo fẹ́ jó lórí. Ẹni yìí ló fẹ́ jó lórí. Mi ò lè work lọ́ndà ẹni. Mi ò lè gbà kójú òun ló máa gbé. Òun ló bá wa débì. Ó dẹ̀ ń fìyà jọ ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sà, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mà. Ibà Gani Adam lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o. Bàbá mi CSI Chief Dr. Sunday Adéyẹmọ. Ẹ dákun, mo fi orí adé mo fi bẹ̀yìn o. Bàbá wa Victor Taiwo. Títorí ẹni tẹ́ ṣe fìyà jẹ mí lọ́jọ́ sí torí pé mo gbé kíní fídíò wọn tí bàbá kan pásítọ̀ kan ọ̀run àpáàdì kan tó lọ ń sọ̀sọ̀kúsọ àtòun àtọmọ Lúkà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ nọ́nsẹ̀nsì nípa mi pé mo ti gbẹ̀yìn bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ́jẹ́ ni o. Gbogbo èèyàn lẹ́rò pé ó máa ń gbàgbàkúgbà bíi ti yín ṣá. Gbogbo èèyàn lẹ́rò pé ó ń gba káà òṣì. Gbogbo èèyàn kan lẹ́rò pé ó ń gbowó owó ìranù kan. Àwa ò ta àtàtàkùtà. Èyí ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ Olóhun ti open 9 channels láti lè rówó gbà. Ṣérú àwọn yẹn ló máa fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Ebi kó dàrú ni wọ́n máa sọ. Táwọn èèyàn rò pé rival ni wọ́n tó ń ṣe bí ọ̀rẹ́ tó wà nínú trouble ta ní pé ká gbà lẹ̀. Yóò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ibẹ̀ náà wọ́n ti mú ẹnu bébébébé. Fish people bíi tiẹ̀ náà máa sátẹ̀lé. Èèyàn tó ní lárí òkè ń wo ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹni tó fẹ́ mórí délé òkè ń wo ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ lọ ń wò tẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ èèyàn gidi ẹ dẹ̀yìn níbi tẹ́ ẹ dé. Tó dà gbogbo èpè tó ń ṣẹ́ yẹn kò ní máa fọ́n sí yín lára. Torí tẹ́yìn náà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò báyẹn tí tẹ́ bá wò gbèsè ayé yín ẹ rí pé nǹkan kan ti bà yín bì kan. Ẹ yé wo ẹ fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn ọkùnrin tí àwọn ìyàwó wọn ti bọ́ ṣòkòtò nídìí wọn tán ti wọ skẹ́ẹ̀tì fún wọn yẹn. Ọkùnrin kan tiẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀ tó bá ń janu báyìí ẹ máa wò pé ṣé ọkùnrin leléyìí. Gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń lépa wa bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ ń ṣubú. Ó gbàdúrà kọ́ lọ́run kó jọ kó ṣíwọ́ ìyá yín otherwise ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìyá ni ẹ jẹ́ pọ́nọ́bà nínú ìyá tó ẹ ṣe bí ẹ ṣe kà ẹ ṣe wàkíwà ẹ fi ìyà jẹ àwọn aláìṣẹ̀ tó rẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé wọ́n rán yín ni ẹ̀yin èrò Àbújá ẹ tètè dẹrù yín ẹ kúrò broadcast alálẹ́ tó ń ṣe tó kàn fi ń ṣe bójúbójú get out of here ó lọ síbi tán ti rán ẹ ohun tó rán ẹ wá ṣe bó bá ti accomplish ẹ completely you accomplish 50% of it you accomplish turning everybody against our leaders you accomplish turning the media against themselves you accomplish taking the low life women and embracing them in order to use them against this agitation. You accomplish lying against people. Èmi ni mo lọ sí House of Lords tí mo lọ tọ̀nà ẹ̀. Ó lọ sórí heritage náà onírọ́. Ìyẹn náà tún ló ń gbé nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́. Ó ní Janet Fashakin ló yí dànù. ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo ọ̀run ló ń yí ayé yín dànù ẹ rò pé Jane Fashakin ló wà ní ọ̀rọ̀ yín èmi kọ́ ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run ló ń dà yín ló ń da gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe sọnù mo rò mọ̀ pé iṣẹ́ ibi lè ń ṣe.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mọ́mì.
heritage tí mi ò rí mi ò gbúrò ẹ̀rí mi ò wo show ẹ̀rí until that time ó ní Jane Fashakin mi tó ti mọ̀ tí gbogbo yín parọ́ òkè bẹ́ẹ̀ ń pamọ́ tilẹ̀ ọ̀kan náà gbẹnu pàǹpà tó sọ pé tó ní ẹyin Jane Fashakin ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo lórí alábàáhùn sí òun àtàlábàáhùn ni mo rò pé ọjọ́ ń jẹ tó jọ ń mu ní ìsìn báyìí níbi kíbi tán bá wà ẹ kàn rò pé ẹ lè má fìyà jẹ aláìṣẹ̀ ẹ mú gbogbo kinní yìí báyìí ẹ rò pé ẹ dàrú lójú tèmi Ọlọ́run ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ àtúnṣe o tábà lè fi ìrọ̀rùn gbé Yorùbá nation òní gbogbo ilé ìṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ so ìyẹn wá di àtúngún ọbẹ̀ di àtúnṣe ẹ̀yin olórí wa ẹ get together náà sọ pé lórí àwọn kan lọ máa ya bàbá wọn ya CSI wọn á gbé yàwé rè síbẹ̀ èyí ṣe yẹn là ń sọ ìyẹn kọ́ lólórí ìyẹn kọ́ là ń sọ àwọn olórí gidi àwọn tó ti wà nínú ìjàngbara yìí àwọn tí mo túwálè nígbà ìgbà àwọn tó ń jẹ́ kójú kó ro wọn.
ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ gbọ́ yìí lẹ́nu màmá wa Jane Fashakin akọni obìnrin ikú ò jẹ́ ká gbádùn òkòrò jẹ́ ká gbádùn obì tó gbó ìyá wa Jane Fashakin afẹ́ yín ṣùgbọ́n Olódùmarè fẹ́ yín jù wá lọ sùn láyé olùgbàlà rẹ títí ọjọ́ àjíǹde ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ gbọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí màmá wa Jane Fashakin sọ ó ní ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ ó ní ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè jọ dé ilẹ̀ lérí wa gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ìyá wa Fashakin pè yín ó ní ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ o ó ní ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ o ó ní ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ o ká lè jọ dé ilẹ̀ lérí gbogbo ẹ̀yin akọni nínú ìjàngbara ó ní kí ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè jọ gbẹ́rù lórí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ṣé ẹ̀yin náà ti rí iṣẹ́ rabirabi iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí ìyá wa Jane Fashakin ti ṣe sílẹ̀ kó tó di pé wọ́n lọ rí i pé akọni nínú ìjàngbara obìnrin ni màmá wa yìí rí bí wọ́n ṣe jà àwọn lẹ́ni àkọ́kọ́ tó kọ́kọ́ tú àṣírí onítìrí tó jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé iṣẹ́ ibi ni onítìrí wá ṣe àwọn màmá yìí lèmi àròlé kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ tí mo gbọ́ nígbọ́ pé iṣẹ́ ibi òun ni onítìrí wá ṣe nínú iṣẹ́ Yorùbá nation òun náà ni ẹ fi rí àwọn ọmọ wọn nínú pláfọ́ọ̀mù wọn tínú wọn fi ń dùn àwọn fídíò yìí ni tí ìyá wa gbé jáde tó sọ pẹ̀lú ọkàn nílé pé ìwọ yìí ó wá láti wá onípankéèkì dúdú màmá wa yìí ló kọ́kọ́ sọ tí wọ́n jáde síta pé arábìnrin yóò ó wá dà kọ́tà ń ṣerú ni o so ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lọ́jọ́ tòní akẹ́dùn màmá wa yìí a dẹ̀ mọ rírì iṣẹ́ tabua tó ṣe fún wa a mọ rírì iṣẹ́ takuntakun tó ṣe kó tó di pé ó lọ màmá má jọ̀kù má jẹ kò lóò ohun tí wọ́n bá jẹ láyèdè ọ̀run òun ni kó máa bá wọn jẹ a fẹ́ ọ ṣùgbọ́n Olódùmarè ọba ó fẹ́ ọ jù wá lọ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa a ò ní rí ètò yìí jù báyìí lọ lágbára Elédùmarè ní ọ̀la a máa gba àwọn àlejò lára àwọn organizer committee fún ìyá wa Barrister Fashakin wọ́n máa pẹ̀lú wa ní orí ìkànnì yìí láti sọ fún wa bí ètò ìsìnkú màmá wa ṣe máa lọ ibi tó ti máa sin màmá bí gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe máa lọ pátápátá gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé màmá jẹ́ olókìkí ènìyàn so gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa bá wa sọ wọ́n máa gbé wọn wá sí orí ètò yìí lọ́la kẹ́ pàdé wa ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ o Oòduà gbè wá o kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ó dàbọ̀ ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi ẹ bá mi share ètò yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ rèé tí ẹ máa rí fídíò yìí ẹ bá mi subscribe sórí YouTube channel yìí ká lè jọ máa gbọ́ra wa ẹ ṣé o ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi ó dàbọ̀ bye bye.
Asán láyé o asán láyé mo ní asán láyé ló ń bẹ láyé ọ̀hún o táwọn wò kókó máyé ẹ̀rí asán láyé o ẹ má jẹ́ ká wo gbogbo ayé mọ́ mo gbọ́ kàngó kàngó ṣe ni mo gbọ́ kàngó kàngó mo màmá gbọ́ kàngó kàngó lágò mi dùn mo ní kí ló dé wọ́n ní erinwó àjàlá rújú gbogbo lè dìde o erin ti wó àjàlá rújú gbogbo lè dìde o mo ní kí ló dé wọ́n ló ti lọ mo ní ta ni wọ́n ló màmá ti lọ sọ́nù àìkọ́ ó ti lọ mo ní ta ni wọ́n ní Barrister lọ́ọ̀yà mi o Jade Fashakin ó ti lọ àyà mi já ọkàn mi bàjẹ́ o mo ní kí ló dé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ o kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tí kú fi pa Jade Fashakin o kí ló dé o wọ́n ní mọ̀mọ́ ti ṣubú mọ̀mọ́ ti lọ bẹ́lẹ́dùmarè ọba mi òkè ayé ṣe bá sán láyé ayé yìí asán ni òfò lórí òfò àbí ẹ̀rọ ayé bí ó ti lọ tàlẹ́ni tó lọ sẹ́ẹ̀ Yèyé Fashakin ó ti lọ ọmọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà òṣèré ó ti lọ Yèyé Fashakin ó màmá ti lọ o akíkanjú obìnrin ó ti lọ akíkanjú ni ó ti lọ Yèyé mi Fashakin tó bá dọ̀run má jọkùn má jẹ kòló ohun mèremère tí wọ́n bá ń jẹ láàdùdé ọ̀run ni kò bá wọn jẹ kòló òun ò bá wà ṣeré mọ́ kò mà nóhun ò bá wà ṣẹgbẹ́ kò nóhun ò bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ṣeré kò mà nóhun ò bọ́mọ sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ ikú ló yọwọ́ rẹ̀ láwo ikú ti gbẹ́ni rẹ̀ alárùbáríkà obìnrin o ikú ti gbà á lọ́wọ́ wa igi wo àjànàkú ṣubú kò lè dìde o èrí ti ṣubú ó ti lọ Yèyé Fashakin ó ti lọ ó màmá ti lọ ilé ayé yìí o asán láyé ká má wáyé máyà ká má má wáyé máyà lórí ilé ayé yìí o asán láyé mọ̀mọ́ ti lọ Jade Fashakin má jọkùn má jẹ kòló ohun tó bá jẹ lájúlé ọ̀run o ní kó bá wọn jẹ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lè jẹ wọ́n ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ o bàbá wa Bánjí Akíntóyè o olórí wa ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ o bàbá wa Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá o bàbá ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ o gbogbo ọmọ Ifẹ̀ ló dùn àpapọ̀ à ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn mọ̀mọ́ Fashakin à ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn mọ̀mọ́ o nínú ó ti lọ o màmá ti lọ akíkanjú obìnrin ó ti lọ ikú dóró ó ti gbà mọ̀mọ́ lọ́wọ́ wa ikú ti dóró ó ti gbọ́ nínú rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa à ń ṣe lè.